thankful to you for inviting me to deliver. In fact, I am not an expert in environmental science, but I have made some introductions to digital technologies to co-op agriculture and agricultural systems to reap maximum benefits from different environmental conditions. So that may be the reason why I was invited to this lecture. So my topic is digital sensing effect and how we can environment in a digital way. As you know that lot of flora fauna, everything in this world is having relationship with the environment. Human being may be the only organism which plays with the environment, modify or destroy the environment for convenience. So environment poses a lot of threats on human beings as well as other organisms in continuation to human rights. And these are several threats. Actually, what human beings most environment that is also threat to environment. The environment also threatens by its reactions. This is what environment impacts us. So, since we human beings and other organisms are beneficial to the environment, survive with the environment, we are always in the process of managing this environment. Human beings growth is actually technology driven, you know. We have developed technologies to make our life comfortable. So in that process also we have we believe that technology can solve issues. That is what I discussed in today's presentation. So my talk is the 2 or 4 categories. First I will be dealing with some key environmental threats. Then about how we can monitor these threats through sensors as well as the conventional. What are the differentiations take like global level versus environment. And the way we sense the environment, we need to analyze the environment also to modify, solve our issues. The analysis of the environment as well as some actionable insights from data analysis. So, what are the real key environmental threats we are facing? Mainly, first thought what comes to our mind is that air pollution. Air pollution is a very serious concern which has direct impact on our lives. What are the reasons also some air pollution? One is chemicals like nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, chemicals, as well as particulate matter. These are the causes of air pollution. And these impacts are very wide. Sometimes it causes health hazards like breathing problems, diseases. Not only to humans but to animals also. It affects life also. Visibility is continuously disrupted. So those who are following media will be knowing poor visibility frequently happens in some areas, especially flights are cancelled, rescheduled, and another very serious issue happens regarding air pollution is stubble burning, which everybody may be aware. Stubble burning happens especially in eastern UP portions, Punjab, Haryana, where wheat is cultivated, and the technologies are not a very good solution to them, even though some microbiological degradation, microbial degradation, some products they applied from IRI. Somehow it is not working, not giving much dividends as expected. So even though not fully agreeing with the stubble burning, the farmers are forced to do stubble burning. So this poses a very serious issue that many of you may be knowing. Next is water water pollution is a very serious issue. I think all Keralites are aware of that, how our rivers are polluted, our seas are polluted, and it's and posing serious threats to human life as well as animal life, our livestock, etc. So deforestation, habitat loss is another major things. There are some more things I am discussing. These are not unimportant, and but since compared to the first four, I have grouped this as some others like loss of biodiversity. Loss of biodiversity is, in fact, the impact of some issues which I have already discussed. Biodiversity, as you know, that when in variety as well as quantity of particular organisms existence, that is seriously affected. That is actually called biodiversity. I don't know the exact definition. I am not telling. When this habitat is affected, when water environment is affected, and air pollution is happening, then biodiversity loss is happening. So when deer population comes down, when you go to some forest where, say, gir forest where elephant lion is there, you can see plenty of deer population. So there is no shortage of food. As per the statistics in India, gir forest almost 620, 640 lions only is there. But in lakhs and crores of deer population is there. That gir forest spans in 3 districts of Gujarat. And for this much lion for survive, this population is enough. And there are only 161 male lions. I am a fortunate person to be that one of those 161 male lions directly. Still I am alive. These 161 male lions are there. One of the lions I could see. So that loss of biodiversity is what I want to mention. Then ocean acidification and coral bleaching. That is ocean. We all feel that for centuries, for years, for yugas, we have been feeling that the ocean is a place to dispose our waste. This has been happening over the years, and this led to very serious alterations in the oceanic marine biotic system. And some of the threats like fish population and poisoning of our marine ecosystem, all these are happening. And if we discuss the environmental issues, I think a lot of things will come to our mind. When I say one, you may think related to that, another 3 you may be thinking in your mind, if you are, especially when you are having some background in environmental sciences. Waste and plastic pollution is a very common issue, and I think you have seen even media. Yesterday, when I was presenting this presentation, I was remembering about that Mukesh presentation. Mukesh on advertisement is there. He is actually promoting a plastic, some plastic, but initially he was mentioning about the plastic. A lot of plastics are wasted, and it is seen in the rivers, and all. He's picking out every one, and then coming to his business point. But this is also a way of promoting not pollution, campaign against pollution. Indirectly, actually, in that advertisement, a campaign against pollution is happening. Urbanization and land use change. Urbanization, as you know, that those who follow the agricultural statistics may be aware that in around another next 20 to 30 years, human population, around 70% of population in India will be dwelling in urban areas. People are switching to urban areas because agriculture becomes non-profitable enterprise, and there are much better enterprises are coming in urban area. So what is the need to dwell back in rural areas? So this actually poses some serious threats into serious pressure on urban ecosystem. So this conference itself is mainly for urban ecosystem, I think. So urban ecosystem will be under severe pressure, and that will pose a lot of threats. And natural disasters, actually we have been experiencing a lot of natural disasters like our floods recently as well as earlier earthquakes. Then there will be new emerging, that I have kept as a last one, new environmental threats. So if we discuss these points, this never ends. So my point today is mainly how to monitor these threats. We believe in technology. So how to use technology to sort out these issues to maximum extent possible. And unless we know the things, we cannot take informed decisions. When we take a decisions or actions, sometimes it may solve some issue. But if we know the science and if we know the data, then we can take informed decision. And these are some of the tools for those purposes. First one is air pollution. As I have already mentioned, this is mainly due to particle matter, carbon monoxide and such poisonous materials and all. So how to monitor this? Is there any technology to monitor this one? So there are 2-3 ways there it is installed worldwide. One is some mobile devices like vehicles are there, which are connected with the sensors and which moves around and collects the data real time. Once the data is collected real time, this will be sent to a central processing unit for processing and draw rich insights on how to manage and regarding analysis. That is one of the options. And another thing is just deploying the sensors in different areas. First of all, you have to identify high priority areas where this data is required. Once you identify those points, you can install those devices. I have shown some 2 sensors only. One is this one particle matter sensor, and another is actually it is not carbon dioxide sensor. I have given carbon dioxide sensor. Yeah, carbon dioxide sensor is there. There are many other sensors are there. The working of the sensor is mainly those, as everybody is familiar with the sensor which detects our alcohol, is it not? Almost the same concept is for this type of sensor. If you are interested in developing such sensors, actually that is the logic behind it. Some creation of vapor pressure deficit, and that way it generates electricity, the conductivity difference is there, and based on that the sensors will detect the measure. Once the development process includes many other things like calibration. Once you calibrated, and then you can connect this to the data collecting devices like Arduinos and all. Such things goes on. I am not delivering such things, but I want to give you a brief overview of some of the sensors. And then regarding the water pollution, how to collect data from water pollution. Conventional method is collect data, then that conventional process I am not discussing. There are some methods like some sensors, deployment of sensors to measure pH, etc. from the water, and then you can collect the data. Then climate change also, impact of climate change is in the form of temperature hike, then carbon, methane emission, etc. There are sensors to detect that also. Then similarly, deforestation, habitat loss, urbanization, land use, and natural disasters. The main technology behind the measurement of all these things are satellite imaging and processing it through GIS and other softwares. I think many of you are familiar with them. And through this one, we will be collecting images with the different color patterns. And once you analyze it and verifying in the ground truth, you will be able to find out with insights on these parameters. This is also regarding natural havoc I was mentioning, natural disasters. This is a seismic sensor which is used to measure earthquake. So already time is up, but I will just rush through some slides. This thing I am not explaining the slide. This I have already mentioned. This is the process how the data is collected. Sensors will be deployed in the locations where data is required. The data will be transmitted to the central point. It will be processed, and its insights will be made, and based on that, decisions can be taken. And some of the international level initiatives I want to mention. And because UNEP, United Nations Environmental Program, has come out with a come out with a World Environment Situation Room, WESR, which was launched in 2022. It was done at, it is working in a multi-location framework. It is a global framework where 45 sub-units are there, sub-components. This one real-time collects the data from worldwide, and each one will be processed, and after processing that information, that insights or analysis pattern, everything will be given to different agencies, especially decision-making agencies like government agencies, private parties, etc. Actually, this is a very important thing. Actually, I wanted to this is another one. This is regarding the methane emission pattern. Details are here. I think I will be sharing the slide. And this is another one. It is in connection with air quality measurement. Among the 45 components, just 2 or 3 I am mentioning. This is globally how much is the air pollution that you can find out from this platform. This is another fund for United Nations Biodiversity Lab. This is actually, they are also biodiversity related real-time data collection, and decision makers will be helping decision making. Then actionable insights, just I want to mention air pollution, water pollution, and because next slide I will skip. Air pollution is mainly for, we can identify which are the real sites where air is polluted heavily. Actually, for this one, the first 3 digital platforms will be highly helpful. Based on that information will be shared with the government agencies. They will identify the high priority areas and action to be taken, etc. Similarly for water pollution also. Similarly for climate change and deforestation, since there is a shortage of time, I think I am stopping the presentation here. I think it's okay?
Yeah, it was a very good presentation. A lot of new insights Dr. Mitra has given. And I think it is a need of the hour. As you know, now the talk of the day is to have EVs. Now, recently newspaper it came, EVs, though it reduces the carbon dioxide emission and all, but the particle matter emission, because of its wear and tear, it's on the higher side. So he has given insights. Beyond that, methane emission is another talk of the day. India being a cattle-rich country, so by modifying the diet of the animals, we can reduce the methane emission. Many things are there. So he's a man of innovations. In Kerala, he's a man of innovations. He'll develop a lot of sensors. So I think it's open to you, participants, to interact with Dr. Mitra. 2 minutes for interaction. Some questions you can raise. Kindly raise your hand. Mic will come to you. You can ask the question. Questions, please. One thing you didn't learn anything, or all were busy preparing the slides for the next oral presentations? I think both were there. People did not listen or you didn't understand, but I could understand few things. You motivate him. Kindly ask 1 or 2 questions so that we also get enlightened. He'll share his experience. Anyone from the audience? Or I myself will ask a few questions. So based on your experience in your institute, what sort of models you can develop, sensor-based models to reduce any of these threats? Maybe one.
Yeah, just like say, once the data is collected, when we develop say carbon dioxide emission sensor or something like that, maybe there, but once you develop that thing, that data will be collected, and we will relate with say methane content or global warming, how temperature increases, like that. So once the data is there, we will be able to develop the real-time self-learning model itself, so that from Kasama field or sweet potato field, data is coming. How far it is contributing to the temperature rise or other things, we can even real-time we can find out. If that type of system, if you develop in any field, so over the years, we can say that a rice you told, a cow you told. Cow's environment, you collect the data real time using the sensors, let that everything pulled to a central cloud and there. So we load our Python based, AI model, which are written in Python or mostly in Python. So real time it collects data, it find out that once the temperature reaches the particular, once carbon dioxide reaches particular level, this another emissions reach a particular level, we can say that this is going to contribute to global warming or this one. So how much temperature degree rise, etc. And also then through the sensitivity analysis of those models, we can still find out what changes in, what is the contribution of each of these factors to final global warming. So temperature contribution may be 90%. Even though we assume that it is 90%, sometimes in carbon, in cassava fields, its contribution may be 80%. Another percentage changes all will come. These are all specific models for each crops. So for each crop field, we can say that he was telling that rice is contributing maximum to global warming. Cow, right, not rice and cow. These things we can real time monitor and find out. We can validate also.
Sensing instead of putting your sensors there.
Vijay Singh, that is what I was telling. First step of this project should be analyzed through this GIS images, remote sensing pictures or drone images. Then we find out the high priority areas first. In the high priority areas, you can focus first. Then you can, from there gradually you can upscale. And many of the sensors are not very costly. That's very cheap. And there are very simple technologies to make the sensors also. That is also nowadays it is well known. Sensitivity in the case, there is another method called linear programming. It's a mathematical concept. In the linear programming, there are, say, if you say 5 factors, it's actually a sort of business model type of thing. It's a business model type of thing. It is applied in any field. In agriculture, in Kerala Agriculture University itself, I helped 2 persons to do linear programming study. And different factors will be there contributing ultimately to say profit. That is what business it is saying. This one we can fix instead of profit like a carbon emission, something like that. Then there are constraints for each one. So temperature prediction, it is related with some other factors. So all these things we can, it is called a simplex method it is called. One tableau we will make and then it can be solved. Once when it is solved, it will easily come out with for carbon emission, contribution of this one is this much, contribution of this one is this much, like that. It all success of this particular study depends on how best you collect the data. In Agriculture University, I think one of my friends I helped for identifying in homestead farming, different crops are there, which one contributes to maximum profit, like that. So once you identify that thing, you can act on that particular enterprise to reduce the profit or maximize the profit or reduce the loss, like that. Instead of maximization of reducing carbon dioxide emission or maximization of carbon dioxide emissions. This technology, methodologies are common, only thing is when you apply it in different fields, different data collections, a slight modification, deviations will be there.
Yeah, you have mentioned about various factors which affect the environment impact. So, a single unit by which you can monitor different factors and then comparing contributors so that the effect and impact of various factors we can understand. Is there any system that we can develop or is that already exists?
Yes, sir, that is what I was mentioning. It actually combines of both these questions. First we identify the factors and global warming, everything, we relate everything. Then through the Python model, so the AI model, it learns everything, but we can make a simplex method is there on that is called linear programming. There are some methods are there. Once there is a pattern of arranging these things and finding out, say what we told you about global warming. So global warming increase or decrease. When you relate to that thing, then it come out with a model in which says that, say, Rx1 plus Bx2 plus, it is there. That is a simple, looks like a linear, just like a simple regression model, but behind that there will be some other conclusions also drawn from this study that for global warming, contribution of X1 is 60%, contribution of X2 is 30%, like that it is there. Once you identify that thing, there is further study. So you say that 60% is maximum contribution is by X1. So you try to reduce the strategy to reduce X1 to a particular limit. Then you do the model again. Then you can find out that whether it is reduced or not. This method is already there. This is mainly used in business. It is taught in business schools and all. In computer science also it is taught.
I think the valid question by Anil sir.
Yes, sir.
In Indian Institute of Science, and recently we had a speaker from KU, Pambadambara, Murugan sir. He talked about one parameter which takes into consideration all these parameters, some index, I don't remember the name. If you contact him, he'll get one index is there. Based on that, you can tell how much it is being affected. So anyway, thanks a lot, Dr. Santosh Mitra, for the beautiful, those time constraint was there. So all, please give a good round of applause appreciating Dr. Santosh.
Thank you.
Now we will start the oral presentations. I think persons know the sequence. You are given 10 minutes time. After 8 minutes, I think a single bell will come. After 10 minutes, the two bells will come. You have to stop. I think, is that good? Or you want the bell after 10 minutes? In whichever way you want, because I think time, otherwise we will just go on like that extended. So, oral presentations, I think you have the sequence. Anitosa Innocent from Karunya Institute of Technology and Sciences, Coimbatore. Invite. Yeah, please. So there will be a buzzer after 8 minutes, 10 minutes, final buzzer.
Respected dignitaries, my colleagues, the topic for the presentation is this role of women, the extent of the participation of women in decision making in integrated farming system. As you know, this integrated farming system, it's a complex dynamic thing. If you split all the components there, you can say that there is crop is there is livestock is there, and all the rest of the components other than these two are the basic things. Other than these two, we can classify them into complementary and supplementary enterprises. Something like supplementary enterprises, they support one another. A good example is using Fasola or vermicompost. The output gets recycled back into the system, and what is the importance is that in peri-urban areas, because this study was conducted some 40 kilometers from here, Varkala, Chirangid and all. So in peri-urban areas, there are farmers doing integrated farming system. It is a source of their livelihood. The other thing is that it fulfills their nutritional security part. They produce fresh produce for the local market. So a lot of advantages there. And apart from all this, there is also this social inclusion of women, because they are involved in a lot of activities and also in the decision-making process. And if you look at the women's role in decision making in integrated farming system, of course in Kerala, all are well educated, we need not go deep into it. And you see, integrated farm system is all about management, resource management. A lot of resources are there, resource recycling is there, the timely decisions that has to be taken, the timely enterprises that has been done. So how the women interact with the men in the household and take decisions that contribute to the success, ultimate success of integrated farming system. So now the purpose of the study is, we know that this thing is important. We don't know the extent of the women's participation in household, how much the extent they participate in the decision making, and what are the factors that contribute to the extent of women's decision making. So that was the two objectives. The one is the extent of participation, and then what are the factors that contribute them or lead to these things. So the methodology was that, as I mentioned earlier, the southern coastal plain agricultural unit is somewhat here and some 40 kilometers from our Trivandrum city only. A lot of farmers are there. We contacted the Department of Agriculture and Cooperation. With their help only, we identified the farmers. Some 200 farm households we have collected. They are all marginal farmers. We went for an ex post facto design with a scheduled questionnaire. So a lot of data was collected with a pre-tested questionnaire. And regular routine analysis was also only done, not some complicated analysis. And what we could find was that, see, what is the areas of decision making? See, if you look at it here, okay, on the fourth column over there, it is something like the total farmers are there. That is, if you look at the line item, it is not working. Okay, actually, if you on the horizontal line, if you add entire thing it up, it will come to 200 because that is the total number of households and it is percentage. And if you look down, then on the right-hand-most side column, if you go down, you see a lot of decisions considered independently by the women. Women themselves are taking a lot of decisions in case of see, in case of this this borrowing of loan or in house construction, you can see that women play a main role in taking decision. But if you look at the middle column, you see that there's a lot of percentages there. Say in case of this crops to be grown, which labor to be hired, or what is the means of irrigation that has to be followed, or should I go for a livestock component, or should I go for another enterprise? In those cases, a lot of interaction is happening with the men folk in the household to take the decision. And there are some cases, if you look at the first column, you see there are some cases where the women are not at all involved. See, some technical aspects like what is the variety that they know that one produce has to be grown, but say come down a little bit into the finer details, something like what is the variety that we has to be grown, or say which kind of new fertilizer that I have to apply, or what kind of new say plant protection chemical that has to be applied. If you come into the finer details, you see there will be lesser decision making. Oh, this is the summary of the earlier table only. So you see, areas where women's decisions are not considered is something like these finer details of choosing these fertilizers and all, because there the problem is the men folk usually go to the pesticide dealer or the salesperson, and they play a major role in influencing the decision. And sometimes it may be of the friends or the peer group of the farmers and all. But if you look at some aspects like borrowing and reaping a farmer, there the women plays a greater role. Why? It's because here national banks give agricultural loans, and see if you want gold loan for agriculture, you have to pawn your jewelry. So jewelry in household, it's under the custody of women. The men folk has to discuss with women, or their permission only you will get that thing done, isn't it? So that is one aspect. Another thing is about the building constructions. You see, the land is limited in the peri-urban areas. So there is competition for agriculture. That is one aspect. Then, of course, the women folk are interested in more in keeping the land, tidying up the house, everything. So their say is the ultimate. But you see all the other activities like today what has to be done, today what has to be given, crop has to be grown. In all these aspects, you see majority of the cases there is joint decision by men and women. And that is a good sign because it will bring up more sustainability and more optimization of resources in this. But you see in these areas where they are not having much impact, these areas can be focused when we are going for capacity building program. See, we can, along with other activities, we can also provide more information to them on the varieties or latest nano fertilizers or something like that we can do. Then, see, this is nothing but the extent of women's participation. If you sum up the total downwards, it is 200 households. So you see the majority are in the medium category. Okay, that is a very good sign. Then what is the factors that have been? We have gone into the socio-economic factors. So there is the age, education, then land owned, then income, material possession. Material possession is something like what is their mixie they own, their refrigerator, their TV, all the things that is there in the household. That is the material possession. Then the social participation is something like the Uru Kutams or the Ayal Kutams, they are membership of, or the self-help groups, they are participating, and the information that they get from them. Then there is the economic motivation, how much they are motivated. Something like, I want to go for this agriculture enterprise so that it will increase my income. They are actually well motivated if you look at it. Then the market orientation. they are well aware of the products that can be sold into the market. So they are well aware that this much, see, I have to go for bitter gourd or something to get much price for the market, something like that. They are well aware. Then they experience in integrated farm system. If you summarize this one, see, I can say that yeah, there is some relation between this see, economic motivation or market orientation or their experience and all. But you see, most of the women, they are in the middle age group, not exactly middle age, something like 38 to 55 years of age. Their area, their age and their land holding size, that doesn't play much role in their decision making, because they are all well educated there. So this might be of some interest. So this is the summary of that table. See, there is that economic motivation, market orientation, experience, everything, but it is irrespective of, because it is non-sequential, you see, it is irrespective of their age and their land owned. Then what is the conclusion that we can make? This conclusion is this one, that is majority of the women, they do participate in decision making, except for a few areas which involve they have to part with their possession, or which involves their building or something. For all other areas, they do consult. Maybe this is because there is positive correlation with education. This is due to the higher education that women in Kerala enjoy. Then there is the extent of women's participation in peri-urban areas is independent of their age. You need not consider their age. They are all well educated, and they have many sources of information, especially from social media, and they are aware of all these things. And what is the ultimate objective is, if you are going for, I can conclude that whenever you go for training, you just, because all are well aware of the regular situation, let's go down one level bit, go into the finer details. Like, this is the exact variety you have to go, and something like for 2 months, you apply such and such fertilizer in such and such quantities. And there, I think, as Santosh Mitra sir told today, we have to go for custom-based advisory. You have to tell the farmer, you apply this fertilizer this week to get this much yield. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Any questions? You have, yeah, please.
So it is women participation in decision making, right?
Yes.
So is it women who voluntarily want to participate or don't want to participate, or is it the men who don't allow them to participate? So how is the research done?
Actually, we are interviewing the women, and we are asking them, see, to how there are some decision making you are taking, how much your decisions are being accepted by the men, whether you take it independently or whether you are having the final say for the decision, or whether your decision is being consulted by the men flock, or your decision are not at all considered. So that is the score it was given. So 0, 1 and 2. And so that was the methodology followed. If theirs is the ultimate decision, okay, then it is 2. That was the methodology followed.
Okay.
That's a valid question. But I think what she was asking is that, like women involved in selecting the crop, like cowpea or bitter gourd, snake gourd, but they are not given option to select the crop they are selecting, but variety and fertilizers they are not selecting.
Yes.
So what is the reason? That's what she's asking. Why they cannot select the variety?
Actually, the problem is sometimes the women might know one variety is good. It is not available in the market at that time, right time. So usually they will, some regular supplier of the variety will be there, because in some places private agencies play a greater role. And it is the men flock who go and buy the fertilizer or the seed. So he will be swayed by the by what that dealer tells. So say he will be asking for one, and the dealer may telling that this is much better variety, you go for it. So the decision is beyond what women can do. We can do in capacity building program in such a way that we can emphasize a lot on the varieties and the advantages, because we are coming up with a lot of varieties. And there can be a situation whereby if lot of women in an area are demanding for one variety, of course, the local dealer will stock it and he will get it. So that is ultimate objective.
Okay, thank you very much. Yeah.
Sir, you came to a conclusion that in purchasing fertilizer seeds, the opinion is not much considered. So, have you used any robust statistical tools to strengthen that conclusion? Because I couldn't see anything, just only from the mean. And how could you come to that conclusion from a sample of 200? I think.
No, we only did this general kind of analysis, something like we are asking for, see, fertilizer, how much is your extent of decision making. Of course, we didn't go much in depth into it. Of course, this is only a peripheral analysis that I accept. Of course, there are, for that, to answer that question, we have to prepare an exhaustive questionnaire deep into that. This was only I think it is only a general study.
Yes, sir. To come to such a conclusion, you should have done some association studies or something.
Yes, we didn't do much deeper statistics. This is only a general trend, sir.
So that is also a valid question. Keep in mind, whenever you present, statistics should be there. Then only the data becomes what you call acceptable.
Yeah.
Anyway, you have already described your difficulty. It's understood,
Yes,
but in future, keep in mind.
We will actually with this. We know these things exist. We need to document it somehow. As sir told, in future we will take care of it, sir.
If no more question, one more question. Lot of women centric.
Yeah, thank you for the presentation, sir. It was good. I just wanted to ask you, you have put really well the factors which are affecting the decision making, right? Like you said, age is not really a factor which is affecting their decision making. But did you go through the land rights? Because most of the cases, when women don't have rights over the agricultural lands, it is so obvious that they don't even have the right of decision making. But most of the times, are there any participants in your 200 sample? There are single women who are farmers. They have rights over the land. They have patta of their land. So, is that different case for them, and any comparative analysis like that?
We didn't go do that kind of finer analysis. What we did is that to keep the sample uniform, we went for selecting marginal farmers so that at least land holding size will be uniform. Then then of course there were no single farmers. Of course, they were all families were there with family size of approximately 4 people, 4 to 5. Not single ownership is there, but as you rightly mentioned, that do plays a role, because if the woman is having that ownership of land, their decision will be well taken. But that kind of analysis, as sir mentioned, with this data I can't tell, because that kind of ownership pattern I didn't study, only this one.
Yes, yeah. Okay, there. Also questions, maybe, like, I mean, we are now in impression that being in Mumbai, state like Kerala, the female participants or the females would have better say on the various activities, farm activities that take place, at least in the north. But now you have come up with a new disease that only the independent or the or the decision-making area, the role of the women is very minimum. Now, I have a question. I mean, is it depend on the size of the landholding? I mean, if the landholding is less, they have more power, and if the size of the landholding is more, I mean, we have seen any analysis on that part. One. Second, the economics. I mean, if you divide that whole study into different category like social, economic, and then again technology. I mean, what are the area the women will have a better say in a system of homestead farming system?
Actually,
Do you have any separate analysis on that?
not separate analysis, sir. I wish to say that in most of the cases, it is joint decision making. As I said in the conclusion, in most of the cases, it is majority of the cases in all these some 10 questions were asked, and all the cases it is joint decision making with the men. So only in few cases like this, when it comes to the finer details of the name of the variety, or say if farmer wants to apply nano urea or see, the nano urea part should be applied, that decision will be taken by the male only. The women may not have much idea. She may the crop is at the right time, you apply one fertilizer. Only that she knows which one to do. Only some few areas that need some fine tuning. In all other cases, the conclusion is that there is joint decision making, because many of the components in IFS also, like cattle and all these things, in all these activities women are involved. So in majority of the cases it is joint decision making, and that also I don't think whether it is BPL or APL, I think that kind of thing is not there. Definitely the women is economically motivated because they want to make some profit, and they are the people who take care of this livestock and all everything. But in most of the cases, it is joint decision making only. What I want to emphasize is that our women are well educated. Taking that into consideration for during training program, let us also add some finer details along with the training program. Say you go for this particular specific fertilizer, or say you apply this kind of say this much dose to get this much yield. Some kind of these finer details, if you add to that, you can increase the optimized productivity. Only that I want to emphasize that one, sir. All of this, it is a joint decision making only, sir, not APL.
That's fine. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank
No
you,
more
sir.
questions. We'll go to the next presentation. It's Shanmukha Bhavat Bharani. Bhavadarani. Yeah, sorry. Just give me 2 minutes. You're given 8 minutes for the first bell, then 2 more minutes. So introduction you cut short so that you can explain more on your activities.
Good morning to one and all present here. I am going to present on a topic, comparative performance of Palak, Beta vulgaris bengalensis in modified nutrient film technique. Coming to introduction, as we all know that vegetable grown in open field are highly exposed to both biotic and abiotic stresses like unseasonal rainfall, high temperature, which results in loss of yield and quality. So as population is increasing day by day, there is a decline in cultivated area. So there is a gap between production and supply. As we all know that ICMR recommended that per person a day we should eat 125 gram of leafy vegetable. But there is we could not meet out that demand, that we can't supply 125 gram of leafy vegetables per person per day. So meet out these gap, we are going to new technology like modified nutrient film technique. So nutrient film technique is developed by Dr. Alan Cooper in early 1960 at England. As the name indicate, a thin film of nutrient solution will pass from reservoir to the growing trace. After it reaches the end of the channel, it again comes back to the reservoir. Through this technique, we can reduce the nutrient wastage. We can recycle the nutrients. This is the methodology we have adopted. In recent days, interest towards cultivation of leafy vegetables have been increased. With this consideration, we have did research. We have examined the effect of different hydroponic system along with 3 nutrient combination. Here we have used this FRBD with the 3 replication. Here we have taken 2 factors. One is growing system. Here we have taken 2 NFT models. One is horizontal type, another one is vertical type, along with 3 nutrient combinations. That is T1, that is below the recommended dose. T2 is recommended dose. T3 is above the recommended dose. We have examined the growing system along with the nutrient combination. The nutrient quantities were computed for 100 liters of water and were given through fertigation. While we are selecting the nutrient solution itself, it should contain all the macro and micronutrients essential for the plant growth. The calibration of pH is important. as the scientists have suggested that the recommended optimum pH for the growth of leafy vegetable is 6.5 to 6.8 and EC is around 2. It should be monitored throughout the growth period. So calibration of pH is done twice a week. If the pH is more, we should be calibrated with phosphoric acid or sulfuric acid. If the pH is less, we should be calibrated with base like sodium hydroxide. This is a layout of vertical A type. Here each row is considered as one treatment, that is T1, T2, T3. From the nutrient tank, the solution will flow. After it reaches end of each channel, it will rise back to the reservoir tank itself. After we need to check the pH twice a week. If after calibration, we will refill the nutrient solution. Again, we allow the thin film of nutrient solution to the dangling roots of the plants. In case of horizontal, we have molded 3 plastic pipes on a flat iron rod. Here also each row is considered as one treatment. Here also after solution reaches the end of the channel, through the outlet pipe, it will again reaches the nutrient solution tank. Through this technique, we can reduce the excess fertilizer loss and wastage of water. We can save up to 70% of water. Here is the effect of treatment on growth parameters of palak. We have opted for 2 growing system along with 3 nutrient combination. From this we have observed that S1 S2 along with T1, that is vertical A type, along with below the recommended dose, have performed better for plant height, root length and shoot length. Because in hydroponics we are directly providing the nutrient solution, so the less dose of nutrient itself sufficient for plant growth. So we are suggesting that below the recommended dose is better for plant growth. This is the effect of different treatments on yield parameters of palak. In yield parameters also, the vertical A type along with below the dose of nutrient combination performed better. For we have observed leaf area, as leaf area is directly proportional to the photosynthetic activity. So as it is a leafy vegetables, so we are focusing on leaf area, leaf chlorophyll content and vitamin C. Among these treatment also, the vertical A type along with below the recommended dose of nutrient concentration performed better. We have observed for quality parameters like nutrient content also, as we are giving directly a nutrient solution to the plants, how it is impacting on plant growth we have observed. So in that also vertical A type along with below the recommended dose of nutrient combination performed better. So this is the effect of treatment on yield parameters of palak under different NFT system. In the result, we have concluded that palak grown in vertical A type along with NPK of 50-50 kg per hectare showed better growth, yield and physiological and plant growth attributes, nutrient content and uptake. In conclusion, we have suggested that as compared to open field grown plants, as open field grown plants seeks more energy to produce photosynthesis. So as we are giving directly the computed amount of nutrient solution to the plant, so we can adopt this technique to grow palak, and through hydroponics we can accommodate more number of plants in lesser space. This will be economical while we are going for throughout the year production. So that simple and easily adapted with the low running cost. With all these reward, it will be helpful for future where there is a problematic soil and where there is a land area is constrained. For further, we need to increase the yield. Now we can go for artificial light along with hydroponic system. We can accommodate more yield.
Thank you, madam. I have 2 questions. One is that you were generally telling how the NFT is better than the soil cultivation or hydro. But why vertical treatment that was better than horizontal. Reason for that. Number two, then you gave quality parameters of Palak. But you are showing N content, P content, K content, how that is related to quality.
Sir, we have applied NPK through water.
You have to
sir.
show in the title should be like that. Quality of Palak, how it quality of Palak is related with the N, P, K and content.
Okay, sir.
What it?
Yes.
Quality means your
Vitamins,
vitamins, nutrients and all, no? But you are showing NPK content.
Okay, sir.
And what was the reason for vertical type of system performing better than the horizontal system?
Okay, sir. In a horizontal system, we will arrange in flats. Sir, in vertical we can accommodate more plants per meter square, sir. In horizontal we can accommodate a single plant in per meter square, sir. If the yield is comparatively better means also, if per meter square we are calculating, we can accommodate more rows, sir. So yield will be better compared to horizontal and vertical type, sir.
Hi. Did you work out any cost-benefit ratio?
Yes, ma'am. Actually, my research is of 4 system we have compared, ma'am. Open field, polyhouse and 2 hydroponic system, ma'am. We have worked out cost of economics also, ma'am. Here, what I have used is we have not purchased any system directly, ma'am. I have reused old plastic pipes. We have incorporated the system in our college, ma'am. So it cost around, for installation itself, it cost around 5K for me, ma'am.
Yeah, you have mentioned about the, it is a hydroponic system. But what was the media for that? I mean, did you have any comparison between other hydroponic system? I mean, you said the 50:50. That seems to be the better.
Yes, sir.
That's the only criteria that you have taken into consideration.
Sir, I have used this coir pith along with clay pebble as media, sir.
You didn't mention anywhere. I mean, I see it.
So in slide I have mentioned, sir, not in that.
Yeah, but then if it is so, if it is coir pith, then how do you balance pH and EC in a coir pith? I mean, what is the EC? I mean, optimum EC that is there in a coir pith?
Sir, actually, for we will see. We will after germinating, we will only use clay pebble as a media, sir. Until germination only we will use coir pith, sir. After that we will transplant the plant alone, sir. We won't use the coir pith in hydroponics, sir. Because if you are using coir pith means it will hold more moisture, sir. It may cause rotting, sir. I am using only clay pebbles in hydroponics, sir.
My question is slightly different. How do you standardize? How do you balance between pH and you said it in your presentation?
Yes.
How do you balance it between pH and EC, electrical conductivity, in a coir pith? How did you do that? That's my question.
We won't do in coir pith, sir. We will not do in coir pith, sir. We will use clay pebble only as a media, sir. We will measure pH and EC in nutrient solution only, sir. Not in coir pith, sir. We are not using coir pith while we are transferring it into hydroponic system, sir.
You know, the coir pith is the one material which have high EC.
EC, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Then I mean, when you pass the water, I mean, water soluble, material. I don't know what was it, but when you pass something with the water, I mean, will it have any effect on? The already existed EC of the
Yes,
coir
sir,
pith?
it will be, sir. So only we have, first I have tried with coir pith, sir. I have faced a lot of root rot problems, sir. So we have shifted to clay pebbles, sir, because coir pith also will have more EC, sir. And while we are nutrient solution, if we are using, it will increase the pH also, sir. Then rotting problem also it will be this. So we have not used coir pith, sir.
Any questions from the audience? Yeah, please. Yeah, two questions.
I have one doubt. Actually, you have shown that 3 soil, that's usually applied in soil, no? Soil nutrient, like recommendations you have given, no? So it's for soil. So hydroponic system, you applied only NPK, and if you have applied that, actually how you have equated it with for this NFT?
Ma'am, this is a recommended dose as per the crop production guide, ma'am. We have given this nutrient recommended dose in water soluble fertilizers along with macro and micronutrients, ma'am. We have worked out fertigation schedule based on that recommended dose, ma'am. We have given only water soluble fertilizers, ma'am.
So additionally, you have given this NPK.
NPK in the form of water soluble fertilizers itself. In case of all 19 urea, and then we have used multi-K like that.
How you have equated it with the 100 liters you have said, no? This 50, 50, 54 kilogram per hectare.
Yes, ma'am. I have worked out for per plant, ma'am. Based on this recommendation, I have worked out fertigation schedule, ma'am. We have used water soluble fertilizer. We have calculated for per plant, ma'am.
Hi, I have a few questions on your statistical design. So why you have gone for factorial RBD? So you have done this in factorial CRD.
So I have compared 4 systems, sir. Here only I have presented 2, sir. Open field, poly house, and then 2 hydroponic systems, sir. So whole thesis we have followed that FRBD, sir.
So your replication is 3.
Yes, sir.
So it should be 4 to get a minimum degrees of freedom of 12. So why you restricted the replication to 3? So it can increase your type 2 error.
Yes, sir. I have used 4 crops, sir. 4 crops, 4 growing condition along with 3 nutrient combinations.
That's okay, but your replication is only 3.
Yes, sir. If we are comparing this whole, no, it will come 3 replication.
You
is
need at
sufficient,
least 4 replication to get degrees of freedom of 12. So and another thing is that I couldn't see any p-value or your ANOVA table like results in your comparison. You just highlighted the highest mean value.
Okay, sir.
So there is no analysis part I could see whether you already have used a design, but I couldn't see that. That's my doubt. Okay.
Okay, one more question. You keep it in mind while presenting in a different fora you can include. So what he's telling is that tables are shown, graphs are shown,
Yes.
but statistically it is not depicted.
Okay, sir.
Oh, that's all. Oh yeah. One more. Can someone hand over the mic to that last person?
A nice presentation, but being a scientist working in the hydroponics area, sir, for your question, Cocopeat actually I will answer. She's not my student, but I'm a different domain person, but working in hydroponics. Cocopeat, earlier there was a concept like we enhance EC, but now what we are doing, EC, the Cocopeat also different EC levels is available in open market, starting from 0.2 to 0.5 millisiemens per centimeter. So now people what they are doing, we are now recommending the people you can go to any AC. The only thing you have to wash thoroughly with RO water for minimum 3 times. That problem is arise. But in our case, I noticed it's only like complete NFT system, no? It's a closed system.
Yes, sir.
But I have some doubts. Now the Parlak, spinach, lettuce, already handbooks are available, particularly from top universities like Ohio State University, Cornell State University. Completely, even some soil to even complete controlled environment agriculture. I had small doubt how you have gone this calculation with 50, 50, 50, 60, 60, 60, 70. For example, if I need nitrogen, I should take it in the form of the calcium nitrate, otherwise potassium nitrate. How you are taking separately N, separate again P also, orthophosphoric acid, so. Then the way of calculation, I didn't show that material methods very clearly. Of course, time is lacking, but the presentation of this style I am seeing first time, even paper also. So you just look into that. And already sir asked the question that how you show that vertical is better than the horizontal. The way of presentation needs to improve that per unit area, per square meter, we are accommodating more layers. That style you change. But being a regular practice of the same, and we are recommending the people, and A-frames have more problem with this style. You are telling that vertical is good, but after some time, no, Palak it's okay hardly, but you are maintaining for complete season, you go for 7 harvests in this crop. Unlike lettuce, there is only 1 harvest. But after some time, there is a form of clogging. The growth in the A-frame from the top layer, if you are competing down layer, nearly 5 to 6 times lower yielded. Have you noticed any such thing over here?
Yes, sir. So only we are suggesting that T1 is down layer, sir. T3 is top layer, sir. I am suggesting that T1, the down layer, is better, sir. I have faced a problem of etiolation in top layer also, sir, because it is more exposed to direct sunlight, sir. So I have faced the problem of etiolation also, sir.
Which
In
season
P3.
you conducted this experiment? Means which months and which place?
Sir, this experiment was conducted in 2019, sir. This is my PG work, sir.
Okay, and play means which season? Season, months.
It may be March, sir.
March. Which place in Kerala, no?
Coimbatore, sir.
Coimbatore, it's okay up to March, but etiolation is not a big issue if you are going in a polyhouse where minimum shade nets are available with 10% or 30%. Okay, but the first question is that way of presentation of 50-50 is completely new, and first I never come across any paper. So just you make it clear to the audience when you are doing, because already all the SOPs are available and handbooks are available on these graphs.
Okay, sir.
Okay, madam. Your name is very familiar. Ilayaraja's daughter's name, Bhavatarani. Nice presentation. Thank you. Keep all these points in mind when you do. Source of nutrients, NPK, you have to show.
Okay, sir.
Thank you very much. Have a good day. So I invite the third presenter, Kingsley Raj. Available? No. Kingsley Raj from TNAU. Yeah, please. You'll be given 8 minutes. First bell, then 2 more minutes. Yeah. Introduction you cut short.
Good morning everyone. I am here to present on the evaluation of green leafy vegetable on growth, yield and quality under different hydroponic systems for urban communities. Coming to the introduction, as we all know, vegetable is a productive food, but growing these vegetable is facing its own difficulty due to the increase in population. It indirectly affects in the production. And the extreme event caused by the climate change and the pandemic as well. Especially the production of green leafy vegetable has its own difficulty due to the production of green leafy vegetable in urban cities are majorly using the contaminated waters which loaded with heavy metals and pesticidal residues as well. To overcome this, we have to go for the new inventions. One such is hydroponics techniques. By keeping all this in mind, this experiment is carried out for the performance of different green leafy vegetables under different medias and the systems for growth, yield and quality for the urban and the peri-urban communities. Coming to the materials and methods, the design of the experiment was FCRD and the treatment combination is 18 and the 3 factors and 3 replication was used. The place of the experiment was carried out in Horticulture College and Research Institute for Women's, Tiruchirappalli. The 3 factors are the system 1 which is nutrient film technique and the system 2 is Dutch bucket system. The crops which we are used are lettuce, bok choy and palak. And the medias are coco peat and LECA, which is acronym of lightweight expanded clay aggregate, and media 3 is rock wool. We have used Hogland as nutrient solution and the pH we have maintained up to 6.5 to 6.8. The electronic conductivity is 1.8 decisiemens meter inverse. These are the 18 treatment combination. This is the structure of the nutrient film technique and Dutch bucket system. In the nutrient film technique, the nutrients are passes throughout in a thin film of series, where in Dutch buckets, the series of buckets are connected and the nutrients is given in a drip emitters. And the 3 medias are coco peat, LECA balls and rock wool. The observations recorded are the growth parameters, which is plant height, root length and shoot length. The yield parameters are the number of leaf per plant, total plant fresh and dry weight and yield. The quality and also known as mineral compounds, which is NPK, calcium, magnesium and iron, and the chlorophyll content are measured in SPAD value. This is a performance of green leafy vegetable on the 45th day of the hydroponic system. The above row shows the nutrient film technique and the bottom is Dutch bucket system with the respective crops. The first couple of rows, columns, which shows the growth of green leafy vegetables under hydroponic system, and the second couple, which refers to the leaf growth. The first row shows the lettuce, and the second is bok choy, and third is palak. Coming to the effect of crop and media on the different hydroponic system on plant height, root and shoot length. We can see that the plant height and the root length was found to be maximum in tree T7, which is nothing but the nutrient film technique plus palak plus coco peat, and the shoot length was found to be maximum in T1, which is nutrient film technique plus lettuce plus coco peat. This is highly due to the effect of nutrient film technique. The nutrients are constantly supplied to directly, which affects in the direct absorption of plant. It has a better source and sink relationship. The effect of crop and media on the different hydroponic system on the plant fresh weight and dry weight. It is found to be maximum in T4, which is nutrient film technique plus bok choy plus coco peat. It is mainly due to the effect of coco peat, which has a highly water holding capacity, which facilitates the better absorption of nutrients for the crop. The effect of crop and media under different hydroponic system on the number of leaf per plant. The T7, which is nutrient film technique plus bok choy plus coco peat, has a high number of leaves, and followed by T16, which is dust bucket system plus palak plus coco peat. Effect of crop and media under different hydroponic system on yield per plant. The yield is found to be maximum in nutrient film technique plus bok choy plus coco peat. Coming to the chlorophyll content, the T4, which is nutrient film technique plus bok choy and coco peat, has a high amount of chlorophyll content than the other green leafy vegetables. Coming to the mineral contents, the nitrogen is high in nutrient film technique plus bok choy plus coco peat in treatment 4. Then other PK, calcium, magnesium and iron are found to be higher in nutrient film technique plus palak plus coco peat. It is highly due to the effect of coco peat, which has high cation exchange capacity, which facilitates the better absorption of nutrients. Coming to the conclusion and result, for production of green leafy vegetable, the nutrient film technique is ideal and followed by dust bucket. Then in terms of yield, bok choy performed better. In terms of growth and quality, palak was better than other. Coming to the media, coco peat media was an ideal substrate for the production of green leafy vegetable under hydroponic system. Thank you.
Now it's open for your question and answer session. Any questions? So in your conclusion, you are showing many parameters, all put together, which is better?
Okay, sir.
Which one?
Sir, actually, for palak plus nutrient film technique plus coco peat is ideal, sir. Sir, palak plus nutrient film technique plus coco peat, it is better for quality aspect. In terms of yield aspect, everything means it is bok choy, sir, since it has a major biomass.
Sir.
Someone, yeah, please hand over the mic.
Sir, here. Hi, Kingsley Raj.
Hello, sir.
Actually, I think I only evaluated your thesis last September, but I could not meet you to ask some questions. But fortunately, we met here. Actually, very beginning the material and methods, you didn't mention anything about what type of nutrition you followed for hydroponics. That is a very basic thing, like whether you are used any commercial thing, you have own customized.
It's a commercial one, sir. We didn't formulate anything, it's a commercial one.
When we are showing commercialized, at least you can show that what is the level, like NPK contents are there. So it's moreover comparison of 3 different species for same yield of bok choy is different, yield of palak is different. Comparing 3 species for common causes, like comparing male and female for different, they have their own ways how you are comparing, except to intellectual thing. if you are having with the physical terms, they are having their own terms. So it is, I think it's not a way. Otherwise, you can go with the same species with 2-3 different varieties. That is the best way. Then bok choy, you told like single nutrition you followed, no?
Yes, sir.
Have you noticed, even in today also noticed bok choy full of cupping. So each fellow had, youngster need different style of food and adult need different style of food.
Yes, sir. We have
So-
faced cupping in bok choy, but in after maturation, after 30 to 35 days only we have faced, sir. And also it is highly affect on the temperature as well. It is grown in Tiruchirappalli area. It is environmental factor also demands the quality of crops, sir.
You had gone in like naturally ventilated polyhouse, no?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But comparing 3 different species, just to think while writing paper also you may expect questions from editors.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Then you said about you have 3 crops and 3 hydroponics material.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that's fine. Then again, you said you have supplemented NPK. So inherently, in all these hydroponic material, there will be some NPK content. Then how do you supplement the NPK? I mean, for the different hydroponic material, did you supplement it separately, or it is uniformly? That is one question. Then again, you didn't say anything about the irrigation. How frequently? You use different type of hydroponics material. Then the requirement of water also can change. So how frequently you have done the irrigation? That is one aspect that will have a direct bearing on the yield of the crop. So how do you do that? That is my second question. The third one, you said about the quality, but how do you assess the quality of the material? You didn't say anything about in your result. How do you assess it? Okay, that's all.
Okay, sir. For your first question, you have asked about the nutrients, which is different for different crops. Actually, we have gone for commercial one. In that, they have given a column of green leafy vegetables alone, sir. For that, they have given specific doses. We have used a constant EC. For this hydroponics, EC maintenance is its main thing. For that, in the commercial itself, they have mentioned for green leafy vegetable this dosage. That's why that's what we have followed. The first one, and the second question you have asked frequent irrigation. Actually, in nutrient filling technique, it's in 10 days once we will apply top up the water only. So we will not drain out and we will not add another. We'll just top up. When the tank nutrients is the water is reduced, we will add upon the water only, sir. In dust bucket system, it will take around 7 to 8 days, sir. It comes in a dripper, so that the emission is maybe varies due to the wind flow also, sir. So the second is that one, sir. Third one, quality. Sir, actually I didn't mention in this, but I have given in the full paper the estimation procedure.
I think it's through anymore. We are running short of time also. So thank you, Kingsley. You keep these points in mind when you write full paper. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Now I invite Bindu JS, Assistant Professor from KU. Karamana, Integrated Farming Systems Research Station.
Thank you. Good morning all. Respected Chair and delegates, I will be presenting on topic small scale irrigation systems in homesteads.
Somebody can please help. Yeah.
So small scale irrigation, you know, it is a climate smart technology that increase the farmers' agriculture productivity and also secure the livelihood security. And it's an option to mitigate climate change, and they have the option for more earnings and also increasing the production. And compared to large scale irrigation, which require larger investment, small scale irrigation can be scaled up very quickly. This is, we know in Kerala, homestead-based farming is the peculiar farming system, and we have 96% of Kerala farmers comes under small and marginal farmers, and increasing the agriculture productivity is the key priority. And I come from this integrated farming system research station, Karamana, and we have a homestead model that is of 50 cents, and we are working under All India Coordinated Research Project on IFS, and it starts from 2011 onwards, and we have evaluated different suitability of different irrigation methods in the homestead based farming. And this is the picture of a terrace farming that is mainly for the urban and peri-urban farmers, and it is of 3 cents, and we can get the vegetable requirement of a 2+2 family throughout the year through vertical intensification and also the sustainable management of the resources and recycling. And coming to the irrigation methods, method of irrigation, you know, it is depends on the climate of the region, then also the soil type, and also the crop phenology or the crop growth stages. And we have both surface and subsurface method, and both were employed as a successful method for the small scale farms. And the surface method, we have the family drip irrigation system, and then open precision drip system, and also the conventional methods, and subsurface wick irrigation and wick bed system. Coming to, this is a bucket drip system, that's a gravity-led system that is installed in the terrace farming, and we have different crops in rotations like chili, bush cowpea, cauliflower, cabbage, etc. And average requirement is 10 liters. A bucket of capacity 10 liters is placed on the top, and we can irrigate 19 grow bags by vertical intensification, and average water use is 7 liters per day. This is open drip system that is installed in the dike area. Here we are employed in wide-spaced crops like trailed vegetables. We are growing these cucurbitaceous vegetables like ash gourd and vegetable cowpea. And the timer was set to deliver 3 times a day, 1 liter for 10 minutes. So the average discharge is 3 liters per day. And one advantage is that compared to surface irrigation, drip irrigation has
System. I mean, there is a water column that is fixed. Then is it because of the emitters, or again is it the water pressure? That is my first question. Then again, water requirement. Water requirement of a particular crop is more or less that is fixed. Water requirement of a crop. So you know, maybe tomato. I mean, you have shown some crops. I mean, that is fixed. Water requirement. We cannot change it.
Water requirement that is around tomato 600 to 800.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yes. By adopting this, the water requirement can be reduced, sir. By wicking bed, we have to reduce to 400 to between 400 and 500. It depends on the reservoir height.
Okay. My first question is drip irrigation. How do you change the discharge? My second question, again wick. So wick, you have the system. You said daily you are using 3 liters per day.
Yeah.
So I mean for the wick, I mean you have a reservoir, and from there you have the wick. So maybe you said about 50 liters for a week time.
2 weeks, 50 liters.
2 weeks, 50 liters. Again, there will be some transpiration loss, evaporation losses.
Yes, sir.
Then again, the wick irrigation. How do you restrict that to 3 liters per day? I mean, that's my.
I calculate that system water requirement, that is 50 liters for the system, and it is maintained at the field capacity. And again, based on the top field, we can that is by these much years we calculated all the average water requirement for the wick system.
I totally agree to that. I don't dispute. But my question, I mean, how did the plant
system, that is 29 bags, how much water, 50 liters water we fed to that system, and again after 2 weeks we have to fill.
Okay. Then again, the media. I mean, you will
Picking
say,
media.
yeah, media. That potting media. I mean, you didn't say anything about the media. I mean,
Picking media, we are using soil, coir pith and farmyard manure in the ratio 2:1:1, and the EC comes around 0.31 initially, and after that experiment it is 1.3, below 1.3, 1 to 1 method. We have a pointer. If the water level below the pointer, we have to irrigate, and based on which we calculate.
No more questions. Anybody more? Yeah, we'll go to the next presentation. Thank you, madam. Bindu madam. I call upon Siddharth from Horticulture College and Research Institute for Women, Trichy. You have try to condense and present. Yeah, I think we are running short of time.
So, good morning to one another present here. So, I am here to present the effect of media on growth and yield in amaranthus under soilless vertical farming. So, coming for vertical farming, why there is a need for vertical farming? So, nowadays we have a lot of constraints like increasing population. So, and then we have also less amount of cultivable land to feed all the populations. So in order to tackle this, we have a lot of techniques like nowadays there is terrace farming which is most popular. But this terrace farming also has some disadvantages that everyone can just like a preliminary just an evaluation we have done. So now we can see what are all the advantages of this vertical farming. So just we have in all areas we can see there is a wide vertical space which is not cultivable. So in order to utilize this wide vertical space, we are going for this vertical farming. So and then this is some also more we are going for urbanization, and all peoples are interested in their IT related works, and there is a need of some aesthetic sense for all. So in order to aesthetic sense, most of the people are planting some ornamental crops in their field, but they can't have this land. So following this vertical farming, it also increases the aesthetic sense, and then it is a self-sustenance, that is easily there is no skilled labors required. All the people can grow. They can follow this concept easily. And then so we have different types or different systems of vertical farming. But we here I am going to present the system called gutter system. Apart from that, there is different systems like trellis and the tower system. So this gutter system, this is the initial diagram depicts the fabrication of the system. So in that we have followed the different crops. But here I am going to speak on amaranthus. So here we are taking the 4-peat vermicompost and then farmyard nutrient, and this is the initial status of nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. And then here we are seeing the organic carbon content and carbon nitrogen ratio. Here you can see that when we have 70:1. Since in undecomposed cocoa peat we can also see the carbon nitrogen ratio as 130 or 140. What is the problem in this high carbon nitrogen ratio is like it follows the immobilization. That is the nutrient, the plants can't take the nutrients. But here in vermicompost, the carbon nitrogen ratio is very low, and then the plants easily, the mineralization happens fast, and then all the plants can easily take up the nutrients. So in the results and discussion, we can see that 50% cocoa peat, that is combination of all cocoa peat, vermicompost and farmyard manure, we have increased plant height, number of leaves per plant, root length, and then yield, dry matter content, protein and iron. Okay, what is the reason? So first, like while we are going alone for cocoa peat, since due to the high carbon nitrogen ratio, although coco peat has several advantages, like it can hold water up to 8 times its capacity, and then there is some good drainage facilities available in coco peat, but due to this carbon nitrogen, the plants can't take all the nutrients effectively. So that to take the nutrients effectively, we are going for this vermicompost and farmyard manure. Farmyard manure is nothing where it has the advantages of all the plants, the nutrients are effectively utilized by the plants. So this is the reason why the coco peat, vermicompost and farmyard manure combination has good effect on both growth, yield and quality. Coming for quality, it is of protein and then iron content. Apart from this, we have also gone for some other parameters like nutrients. So this is a table. We can see that all the parameters are highest in the treatment where coco peat, vermicompost and farmyard manure are in combination. And then we can also see there is an increasing trend, especially in yield per plant and dry matter content, and then all other categories. We can see that slightly an increasing trend has been followed here. So this coming to conclusion, we can see that this combination of growth, yield and quality. Okay, then we have come for some nutrient content, how the nutrient has been supplied to all this. So we have gone for we have followed the TNE crop production guide. As per the crop production guide, we have gave the NPK content for this amaranthus, but we have faced some constraints that even though we have supplied the NPK content through urea, DAP or MOP, the plants cannot utilize the nutrients more effectively. But so we have done for some consulted with some senior scientists, and then I came to know that coco peat is unable to take effectively. So that there is a alternate called Arca SPR, that is Arca Saksha Pusha Rasar, Arca SPR. We have got it from with the help of some IHR scientists. We have came to know this Arca SPR. It is especially for coco peat media. So this Arca SPR effectively gave the good results, and then the plants also got the good growth, yield and quality. So this is especially for coco peat. So that we have followed the soilless cultivation. So that we have followed this Arca SPR. Apart from that, normal as per the TNAU crop production guide, we have followed this normal nutrients.
Any questions from the audience?
Audience, those who are interacting, please introduce yourself first.
Yeah, one question from our person from Tamil Nadu.
Hello, this is Dr. Suresh Kumar.
Thank you, sir.
scientist senior scale horticulture vegetable science.
Good morning, sir.
I have a basic question is like whether it is like soilless production means hydroponics or like.
No, sir. No. Just it is an vertical farming. No hydroponics is formulated here. Just it's of soilless media like coco peat, vermicompost, and farm manure. There is no water. Not like of hydroponics, sir.
What is the pot volume? Like when we are going in pots, we could say the volume or mass, that thing. But when you are coming to growth into the same pipes and all, generally when it is hydroponic, there is no issue of the volume question. But now you are going the same into a hydroponic type of channels. So what is the pot volume per getting per this much yield?
Sir, just we have initially in this pipe we have got some volume of this media such like that we have taken the in each pipe we have not calculated the amount of media that is to be holded for in each pipe, and then we have got the coco peat like 6 kgs, and then we have restricted the vermicompost to 3 kgs like 50%. So when it is 100% coco peat, it is fully the 6 kg is the total capacity of the media in the pipe. We have given the 6 kg, and then when it comes for 50% coco peat and then 50% vermicompost, then 3 kg of coco peat and then 3 kg of vermicompost we have supplied. So in this concept we have given this media combination. So this vermicompost is just like an inert media. It gives supplies it holds the nutrients and delivers the nutrients. That's all. So in this concept we have
vermicompost not inert media. It is a nutrient rich media.
Sir, nutrients, sir, but it cannot be the plants cannot be grown along only in vermicompost. It will be somewhat difficult, sir. So that I have mentioned this, sir. Okay, maybe I am sorry, sir. So this
but volume I could not get. You are telling the weight and all, but that per plant volume how much? For example, I am taking some co bag. I could say like some 60, 40, 40. Then I could say coming like if I am going coco peat, perlite, vermiculate or some combination, then I could say like mass of 8 kg. Then volume it is coming around this many cubic meters or centimeters. So with that, so when we are recommending to the city growers, because volume base, if you are telling population base, that would be very beneficial. When we are doing all the work, finally it must give to some end user. We have to keep them in mind. Okay. That's why this is the question. It's not like.
Dr. Suresh, you can have more interaction after him. I think, yeah.
Yeah, I have just one question. Like, I mean, you said about the CN ratio. CN ratio is 70:1. Yes, for the coco peat. Yes. So how do you think that the plant will survive in such a high CN ratio? Generally for the FCR, fertilizer control order, the CN ratio should be something around 30 or less than 30. Now here you said this 70:1 for the coco peat. So how do you think that the plants will survive in such a high CN ratio? And again you are silent on electrical conductivity. What was the electrical conductivity of that coco peat? That also you didn't mention about it.
Sir, coco peat has high carbon nitrogen ratio, sir. So the growth will be good, no issues. But sir, that is the normal growth is happen. But we can't when we compare this vermicompost and then farmyard manure, we can the nutrients are effectively utilized by that crop. So that we are going, but coco peat has good advantage that as I mentioned earlier, it has it holds the water, but due to so that only all the growers are taking the coco peat as only during the nursery stages for initiating like the pro tray, they are going for coco peat, and when they are transplanting, then the comparing with coco peat, then only well decomposed. Since in nowadays we are facing the severe difficulties like the coco peat are not well decomposed, and then still the carbon nitrogen ratio is increased, and then all the plants are getting starved and then drooped. So in order to get very good results, we have got this media combination with vermicompost and farm manure, but coco peat.
Fine, Siddharth, you interact with Anil sir after the presentation. I think we are running short of time. Next session starts at 12. We have half an hour left and another 9 more presentations. I think we have to reduce the time. So 6 minutes, first bell, 7th minute, you have to finish. Thank you very much, Siddharth. You have one more presentation left, huh? You come back again. Now I invite Aravind Swami, all our film actors from Tamil Nadu. So 6 minutes, First bell, 7th minute. Okay, please keep in mind. 6 minute, first bell, 7 minute. Yeah.
Good morning to all. Today I am here to present my master's research topic, pre-harvest fruit bagging. It is done in 4 varieties: Alfonsa, Ratna, Mallika, Imam Pasand. Among these 4, I am going to present here in Alfonsa. My topic is pre-harvest fruit bagging, impact on post-harvest quality, shelf life, and biotic stress of Alfonsa. Introduction. Just one point. In world, out of 10 mango produced, 6 mangoes are from India. Though 6 mangoes are produced, we are not even exporting 1 mango from India due to the production constraints like MRL level and mostly that nut weevil and fruit fly incidents. In order to overcome that, we are going for pesticide spray, which increases the pesticide load at the time of harvest. As an alternative method for pesticide, we have gone for pre-harvest fruit bagging. This method is commercially practiced in Japan, China, Australia, and United States. The countries like Argentina, Chile, Mexico, they won't import fruits unless they were previously bagged. This also improves the export opportunity of mango fruits. First, why fruit bagging? Fruit bagging, which protects mechanical damage and also pest and disease incidents like devastating pests like hoppers, thrips, and fruit flies. And it also reduces the chemical load. The pre-harvest fruit bagging, which modifies the microclimate of the fruit, like light penetration is controlled and temperature and relative humidity is altered in bagging. It also reduces the harvesting time. It also improves the fruit quality. Next slide, please. We should note that once the fruit is harvested, quality cannot be improved. So our ultimate aim is to harvest the good quality fruit at the time of harvest. It can be maintained at the time of harvest. This study was conducted at Jain Irrigation System Limited, Udmalpet R&D Farms in Udmalpet. 17 years old uniform sized Alfonsa mango grafts were used in the study. This pre-harvest fruit bagging is 100% commercially possible only in ultra high density planting due to the dwarf stature of the plant. 6 treatments were followed. T1 is a single layer brown paper bag which costs 30 paise, and T2 is double layered bag, which is outer layer is brown and inner layer is black, which is hydrophobic. This material has the property of hydrophobic. And T3 is a transparent bag which has 2 perforations for ventilation, and T4 is non-woven bag, and T5 is butter paper bag, and T6 is control. And you can see the field view. After 35 days of the fruit set, the fruits were thinned and healthy fruits were selected for fruit bagging. Once the fruit is bagged until harvest, the fruits were left undisturbed until harvest. Once the fruit is harvested, some of the parameters were taken at on farm immediately, and the fruits were taken to lab for further post-harvest analysis. Next slide. Some of the findings, one of the pre-harvest factors like days taken to harvest has been earlier in case of transparent bag and double layered bag. Compared to all treatments, 4 days earlier in transparent bag and 3 days earlier in double layered bag. The fruit length and the fruit mass was highest in double layered bag due to the modified microenvironment. That is increased temperature, increased the zinc activity in the fruit. Next slide, please. And coming to post-harvest quality like shelf life, there are 2 factors like water loss and fruit firmness which influence the shelf life. The fruit firmness, the fruit water loss is maximum in T3 transparent bag. Due to this transparent bag have higher RH, there will be more of microbial load during pre-harvest conditions, which increase the water loss, and the T2 has the lowest fruit loss or fruit water loss, and the fruit firmness is highest in T2 double layered bag. These both factors directly influence the shelf life. So T2 has recorded the highest shelf life of extra 4 days. Next slide, please. And we have also done the ICP-MS inductive coupled plasma mass spectrometry and Alfonsa fruit peel for mineral composition, which contributes to shelf life. We found that the T2 double layered bag has maximum phosphorus and calcium, which directly influence the calcium pectate and increase the shelf life of the fruit. And you can see here, this is the T2 AA bag. As I told you earlier, the light penetration is altered in this bag. Instead of green color fruit, you will get yellow color fruit at time of harvest. There is unripe fruit. The firmness is high and the color is high. The fruit will be uniform appeal with the free from blemishes and spots, which increase the marketability. Next slide, please. And you can see the fruits at different stages at harvest and ripening, where you can see the T2 at harvest and ripening both having a highly marketable appeal. And the graph which represents the calorimetry value, where A star represents the if the A star value is negative, which represents the green color, and the A star value is positive, which represents the orange color. At the time of harvest, you can see the T2 AA bag has observed the yellow color fruit, which is highest firmness. And next, one more thing is, previous slide please. The fruit appearance is subconsciously linked with good quality and good taste to the consumers. Next slide. And you can see the biotic stress as this bagging material. We have see for longevity of the bagging material. The AA bag and the transparent bag have the hydrophobic nature. They have the longest shelf life. And the fruit fly incidence was 0 in AA bag and transparent bag, because the fruit flies can't lay eggs in the AA bags. You can see the fruits, there is controlled fruits where fruit flies, and at the time of harvest you can see the larvae inside, which is uneasy for consumers to consume. Next slide please. And then coming to this instance and sooty mold, this instance during post-stress handling, the AA bag has observed the lowest anthracnose incidence, and sooty mold due to climate change there is more of hopper infestation, which increases the sooty mold fungus. In case of AA bag and transparent bag, due to the hydrophobic nature, the sooty mold, the honeydew secretion has not caused any damage on the fruits, so it has the highest marketability. You can see the 0% incidence of sooty mold. This sooty mold incidence at the post-harvest will decide the price of the commodity. Next slide please. And the conclusion, pre-harvest fruit bagging at lemon stage increase the mango fruit post-harvest quality. This is one of the good agriculture practice which is used for sustainable agriculture system, which gives pesticide residues free at the time of harvest. It is gives better price in local and export market. Next slide, and you can see pictures. And this is one of the success story of progressive farmer. Actually, Mr. Aravindan is a IT entrepreneur from Coimbatore. He has his own orchard near Coimbatore, where he has 1 acre of mango orchard variety Imam Basan. We have just asked him to do a trial by pre-harvest bagging with AA bag. Once he bagged the fruit at the time of lemon stage, and during harvest you would see the magical fruit that is fully yellow, unripe with high firmness, which is fetching good price. He is having his own website. He sold 1 kg of Imam Basan for 400 rupees. He is getting a BC ratio 1:4 rupees. By spending 1 rupee, he is getting 4 rupees. Thank you.
Thank you, Arvind Sami. A good attempt. So whatever said and done, people are not adopting this technique. Recently we went to Tenkashi, Udumalpete. They are spraying pesticides like anything.
Yes, sir.
They are even telling that pesticides kulle poochi motta irukke.
Yes, sir. Farmers are blaming that already pesticides coming with larvae, eggs.
Correct. So you try to popularize.
So
Anyway,
actually, this is going to release the technology. We are in pattern.
sir, sir will have some questions.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Yeah, I'll have quickly I'll have two questions. Like, I mean, how do you tie it?
Sir?
How do you tie it in the
So
mango?
actually, this AA bag, this is imported material. Someone
How do you tie it in the tree?
Tie?
High density orchard, but even then there are some high differences there.
No,
So
sir,
there will be some height.
because
What
we
is
have
the
done-
maximum height?
Sir?
What is the maximum height? Height of the tree. Height of the tree.
So
Maximum
that
height.
is within the answer, because
How much? Height of the tree. Size.
So it will be like 3 meters, that
3
3 to 4 meters.
3 to 4 meters.
Yes, sir.
Then how do you tie the packing there in the?
So the fruits will be low hanging, sir. Because we have done in choice varieties like Ratna, Imam Basan, Mallika, the fruits will be hanging low. We have tied. The trees will be very dwarf and it is up to our hands.
Okay.
As I told, it's ultra high density planting. It's easy to handle. The pruning is done every year to maintain, sir. So that the plant will be very uniform. You can see that slide number 4. You can see the trees.
Okay. Then you didn't mention about the what is the type of the packing material?
So that actually that is a wax coated specialized paper which we have imported from foreign, sir. One of our chairman has imported.
Biodegradable?
Yeah, it's biodegradable. It's wax coated paper only, sir.
How do you find the cost of that material?
Sir?
Cost of the material. Cost wise. Is it economical for the farmers? That's my
Yes,
question.
it's economical. actually we worked out with that Mr. Aravindan farm. The cost of the material is 1.30 rupees and 50 pice for wrapping cost for labor. It is viable, sir.
50 paisa per packet.
Yes, sir. Wrapping,
Labor
cost at initial.
1.3.
But it will cut short your pesticide at the after bagging. There is no use of pesticide after.
Respected Chair, Co-Chair, evaluators, organizers, delegates, and student friends. Very good morning to one and all. Myself Dr. Suresh Kumar, Scientist in Scale, Vegetable Science, working at ICRCTCRI. You all know, since yesterday we are listening a lot of the information about the urban farming. So this is the need of the day to think of, and we can reorient it, even research-oriented thinking also we have to reorient. At the same time, we have to communicate the technology and the knowledge gaps with our policymakers to reorient their mindset to fund this line. Because now there is no much funding to this line, even research, and at the same time there is no encouragement to the growers, particularly urban scale. That still we are telling that they are farmers, but they are thinking like pseudo farmers. So we have to communicate them that in a best way, they will also contribute in the future, because urbanization and population is enhancing like anything. In a country like India, we are now second. Very soon we will. Actually, there is no census calculation for the last 14 years, but we finish means we come to know the best top population across this world. So expected 2050 we are reaching nearly 10 billion population, of which nearly out of 10 individuals, 7 will be residing in the cities. So there will be huge demand graph for the supply of the vegetables, fruits, and particularly that fresh produce. Being a scientist working in a special group of crops with a mandate from the Ministry of Agriculture and Government of India, we are working on the tuber crops. We are unique on this planet. Only such 3-4 units are working on this line. So actually, before going to my topic, a couple of years ago we got technology request from the people with 4 questions in their mind. One was you give a technology which particularly effective for the tuber crops for urban growers. Then we gave some technology with the soil. They told we don't want any soil. Then we gave the technology with the hydroponics. They told it is costly, you don't want. Then again they asked, we need the tuber crops, okay, but we need a short duration crop, rich of nutrient, and again low weight media at all these conditions. So we thought sweet potato is the best because of the its proven technology. If we see that World Food Laureate, Dr. John Lowe, she got World Food Laureate Award because of this crop, because it's such an important crop. Because of that crop, they used the Vita program in Africa. With that, they could come out of the vitamin A deficiency in Africa. So you will see that because of the beta-carotene rich nature is there, as our audience asked, and short duration, and having the high yield. At the same time, not only this one, we are having the varieties which are rich in the anthocyanin and beta-carotene. Now we conducted this experiment with two stages. One stage we standardized the media. As our audience they requested, we need low weight media. We have gone with the different combinations, starting with the soil alone as a control with the soil, coco-peat, perlite, vermiculite as a combinations. Then first stage we standardized this media by mixing all these things. You can see the first stage crop. We mimic the condition like a peri-urban area, like we have gone to a partial shade and at the same time a ventilation, not much of open area like. So we conducted the experiment with these treatments for a couple of seasons while presenting here Rabi season crop data, because this crop is very tricky. If you are going in out of the season, we don't have any photo-insensitive variety so far. So as long as the night temperature meets 22 around only, we could get good tuberization. I am presenting the data of the one of the last Rabi season data. So you can see that vegetative parameters as well as the next yield parameters and quality parameters, of which combination the coco-peat, soil, vermicompost, coco-peat, soil, vermicompost, perlite were best. But perlite being a costly material, per kg it is around 300 rupees. When it comes to coco-peat, hardly 15 rupees, nearly 10 times lower price, moreover yield is on par. So we have chosen this as the best. We have studied the NPK content. This crop shows that it needs good quantity of NNK, but the P is already excess in the media after harvest. So we understood like P comparatively lesser is required. And from the first season study, we have conducted even porosity, bulk density and all. You can see the graph with 3 tubers more than 1 kg per bag of hardly 75 to 80 days from this crop. So we could recommend. Again, we started the actual thing that now nutrient requirement also. Already we have a blanket of recommendation. NPK 50, 25, 50. Fortunately, our Dr. Susan Madam also come here now, just a few minutes ago. She is a master in that for the last 3 decades. With her, now we standardize the media and at the same time nutrients. We have conducted experiment with first season. Now second season is due for going for the technology, and we have to go with the paper above 7 hours rating. So first season data I am presenting of this nutrient stage. 27 treatments, CRD, minimum replication 2 required, but we conducted with one more additional replication. So with the vegetative parameters, I could not find any much difference for certain parameters like number of the primary branches, but secondary branches and leaves were variant. Then the yield parameter also we checked, of which tuber yield per plant, best was the treatment 27, where like NPK at 70, 32.5, 70 kg per hectare. So we have seen this. That is coming around 0.25 grams of N and 0.12 grams of P2O5, 0.25 grams per K2O per bag. When we are giving a technology to the farmer or the non-much educated, non-researcher, they need like how much I put one bag. That you just tell me, don't tell me per hectare. So with that intention, we calculated that part also. From the first and second season study, I forgot. In the first stage, I presented beta-carotene content also. There is insignificant difference noticed, but at nutrient stage, we have to find out the beta-carotene content that is avoided results. That's why I didn't bring here. From this study, we could generally recommend that in soil, vermicompost, coco-peat 1:1 ratio, plus NPK of 70, 32.5, 70 at best. Just I want to give some glimpses of that. We are also working on a silage production. Maybe in a couple of years we may see this presentation in the future with full tool technology. We have standardized this technology with the silage production. Actually, these are the tricky crops. When we are going with this much technology, whether we are getting yield, it's okay, different. Finally, we could achieve 10 times higher yield when compared to the open field. You can see the photo of the scale. That is actually grown from the vine cuttings. Vine cuttings, if we are going outside, we are getting maximum 500 grams. But here you can see that 2 tubers from single plant having nearly 5.5 kg. That is almost 10 times higher yield. Advantage with our climate control system, we could reduce the crop period for 2 months. That is an additional advantage. Being a researcher, we don't want to focus only on yield. We must have other advantages, like we can screen the nutrient germplasm now. We have NPK efficient germplasm. So we know that full NPK requirement and other micronutrient requirement. So we can screen our germplasm by reducing N half, P half, K half. So that is an advantage. So we tested this with other crops also, commercial crops, where chili, tomato and cucumber. So fortunately we could produce and made a technology or the solution that is a universal in nature. Average yield per cucumber we got per plant was 14 kgs, 4 kgs above the national average under control conditions. You can see the cherry tomato, it is not a hybrid, normal variety only. Even cucumber also we used material from the Kerala Agriculture University, we didn't do any commercial hybrids. Luckily, that was witnessed by our Minister of Agriculture this month only, none other than our Shri Prasadji. and even Dr. Anil Pratap Singh, PS2 Union Minister Agriculture, they were very much happy. Our minister was very much happy to know that, so we have to train our own people in that facility, though it's very small, it's good. He was very happy with that beta-carotene content and anthocyanin content of the tubers produced without any cracking and all. So we are now taking the technology, we are cultivating the crop with ARCA structures with our own solution. You can witness the same if you come to our institute. So now we are popularizing. Now 30 units also we distributed with our Susan madam. That's about. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Suresh. Very good work you have done. But I find that, period of study, I think whether you have mentioned the period of study.
Period of studies, it's Rabi season, sir. October to
Which year?
January.
Which year?
This nutrient study is present, recently harvested.
Which year? 21, 22?
23 to 24. 23 October last week planted and harvested in the first week of January.
Okay.
Before that, we have 2 season study, 2022 October harvested January. Again, we had the same study in the Kharif season. That I didn't present here because this crop I already told it's very sensitive. It needs particular temperature, for night temperature, particularly for tuberization. We could harness and we could get proper yield in the Rabi season. That's why I presented last Rabi season data and this year Rabi season data.
And cost of cultivation, cost of what?
That we have to arrive, sir. One more season data is supposed to finish. Then we can go for paper and technology. Hydroponics also we are planning for patent.
Okay.
Is there any comparison between the yield between the terrestrial and you have gone for the polybag?
Yes.
So is there any comparison between the otherwise the ordinary type of farming and polybag type? Yield, as far as yield is concerned.
Modern type in the sense you need hydroponics combination or like a soil combination. I could not get this.
Field and polybag.
Field and polybag. Field actually we are going with 60 by 20 spacing. Where with these polybags we could accommodate 60 by 30. I will show you that the yield that is going around 70 tons because here almost for the same variety when we are going in the field that grass yield was somewhere 15 to 18 maximum and what we call like marketable tuber yield in sweet potato because of when we are going with the field harvesting there is a chance of 20% damage to the tubers, but when we are going here there is no damage, just you invert it and you can take the, already I shown the tuber without any damage, with all the even root intact.
You mean to say the damage can be compensated by
exactly,
the reduction yield?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
You mean to say that?
3 tubers without even complete root portion intact.
Okay. Then again, I mean the dosage, the standardization of dosage of NPK. I mean, could you do that?
Pardon?
Standardization of dosage of NPK.
Yeah, sir.
Yeah.
Actually, when we go with the soil experiment, we took that per hectare centimeter that is coming around 2.24 million kgs per hectare. With that NPK we are calculating. What we did here, we have per hectare when we are taking 2.24 million kgs of soil, we are giving 50, 25, 50. We have done the volume basis and we have bulk density. So we volume into density, we arrived at a mass of 8 kgs. With that we made it, sir, calculation.
Any more questions? One more question. Actually, your NPK 70, 32.5. What will happen? It is 70, 35, 70.
Sir, we took like one is below average that recommended. Same dose actually.
Your recommendation is 70, 32.5, 70. Yeah? Is it?
Yes, sir. 50,
it's not 35. It is not 70, 35, the 70.
No, sir. Actually, we started with the experiment first season with the box Benham resin. There we do avoid these replications. But what we did in our biofortified yams, we did that experiment. We got the surface response surface one values. So we conducted that one season. Finally, now we are just like with already one season we completed hardly for nearly 10 months, 1 year. We arrived values. We conducted one season. Now we can't even recommend. We have to go for one more season. So finally, we conducted a single experiment for 3 years. We avoided that problem over here with 2 seasons.
From audience. Our CTCRI is very near to Velaini, so some questions. People have visited. Well, so potato is a crop of the future. Co-authors are there. They don't have any questions. I think no more. Nice presentation, Dr. Suresh. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
I invite the next person. Rana is there. I don't know. Then again, Siddhartha from HCRI for women, Trichy. Evaluation of green leafy vegetables under hydroponics for high yield and quality.
So this is coming for the next presentation. This is for evaluation of green leafy vegetables under hydroponics for high yield and quality. Coming for introduction, this is nothing but this is fully of hydroponic conditions. So here this is the general introduction, that is it's a Greek word, that is water cultivation, and then these are some advantages that it is plants are grown in the nutrient solutions. So again we are coming that normally the soil is have some many the soil borne diseases and pests, and then in normal cultivation we have also the roots will not get so good, but here in hydroponics we have a good length of roots, so this gives some stability, and then again the nutrients are effectively utilized. It is also an eco-friendly approach, and then here since there is no usage of pesticides or else fungicides, then we can go we can say it as the eco-friendly approach, and then we can have some good quality produced here due to no diseases or anything. So coming again, there are different types of hydroponics such as aeroponics or deep water culture or wick system or nutrient film technique, but here in this segment we are using only nutrient film technique for here. So here again we are going for this. The experiment is conducted in HC and RIW Trichy, and then here we have taken the replications is 5, and then treatments are also 5. So 5 green leafy vegetables has been included. So here these are all the 5 different green leaf vegetables, that is green lettuce, iceberg lettuce, bok choy, celery and parsley. These are the green leaf vegetables, and then here we are going for the different parameters such as plant height, leaf area, yield per plant, iron content, protein content and vitamin C. So these are some for yield, quality and then growth we have accessed. So this is the general overview of the nutrient film technique maintained in the institute. That is the nutrient film technique. Here in nutrient film technique, the nutrients and water will be continuously flowing, and then we have taken a net pot, and then in net pot we are just filling the coco peat, some soilless media, and then we are placing the plant, and this plant will be continuously submerged, will be continuously placed in the running water. So this is the nutrient film technique. And then for nutrients also we have gone for the commercial nutrient application. Apart from that, we have also gone for some ARCA products like ARCA Vegetable Special, which has some essential micronutrients present in it to satisfy the need of the vegetables. So this is some pictures of the green leaf vegetables that is grown in this hydroponic structures. We can see that all the plants are very well in conditions, and also based on visual observation also we can say that there are some good in quality, that the tender leaves are produced here. So coming for results, so we can see coming for plant height, that is the iceberg lettuce register the maximum plant height, while the lowest plant height is registered in the parsley, and then in leaf area iceberg lettuce, and then lowest is parsley, and then coming for yield per plant also iceberg lettuce, while the minimal yield is registered in the bok choy plant. So again coming for quality parameters such iron, protein and vitamin C content, also the iceberg lettuce registered the maximum iron content, and then for protein the parsley has registered and vitamin C bok choy has registered. But here we have just initiated the performance of these different crops under this hydroponic condition, how it has been grown, and what are the qualities one we have estimated, and then this is the general table of that. We can clearly say that growth parameters is highest in the iceberg lettuce, and then iron is also in iceberg lettuce, and protein is parsley, and vitamin C we can see that in bok choy. So this is some pictorial representation of that iron content and some other parameter, that plant height, leaf area and yield per plant. So in conclusion, we can say that iceberg lettuce, and then so here again we have come to the findings that the root length is also increased, so that the nutrients has well utilized, and then less incidence of pests and diseases has been noticed, and then the leaves are tender and superior in quality when compared to soil-based structures, soil-based media combinations. So these are some general pictorial representation that that Honorable Vice Chancellor of Tamil Nadu Agriculture University has visited the structure and found superior growth of the crops, and then better performance of all these crops in the hydroponic condition, especially this nutrient film technique. So this reference, and then
thank you, Siddharth. I think same comments. You are comparing elephant and squirrel. So what it reflects, like you are comparing different crops having different growth.
Since it's a correct since a correct question, sir.
You cannot help it, I know, some MSc work, but
Sir,
you just see.
But since this is an initial, we have just evaluated the performance of in hydroponics.
It's already evaluated. Other people already evaluated. You did not.
Sir, but different crops, though it should not be evaluated, the different crops, just here in hydroponics, how the crops are performing in hydroponics.
Concerns from the audience, please, one or two. Motivate Siddharth. I think he is presenting on behalf of his colleague. Where is Vijayalata?
Sir, madam is associating some other work.
Some other conference.
Unfortunately,
Okay, Siddharth. I mean, you didn't mention about the type of media that you have used.
Sir?
Media,
sir, since there is only cocoa pit, soilless media, it has been used, there is no comparison of media here.
Media same for all the crops.
Sir, it's same for all the crops. Sir.
I got a stupid question again, Mr. Siddharth. The chairman rightly pointed out. Thing is that how do you compare between the crops? I mean, you have compared the quality. Then you have said that is better, this one is inferior. I mean, that is not, you have not compared between the treatments. You have compared between the crops. How can you say that? I mean, each crop will have its own qualities, you know. Then how do you come up with such a result? I mean, it's a bit embarrassing. That's why I ask you that question.
Yes, sir. Sir, though it should not be compared with different crops. Here, in this study, only how the crops are performing under hydroponics. That is the objective of this study, sir. But it is not to say that this crops has performed. But the performance of these crops in hydroponics, but it gave some good performance.
Basically, what you can do is that what is the output, production, yield you can compare, price, how much you get, cost, all these things can be compared, and you can tell for hydroponics, these crops may be better.
Sure, sir.
Comparing the growth parameters and nutrient and all these things, I don't know. Maybe you may have your own justification. Anything else from the audience? Susan, madam, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Why you have selected all these exotic leafy vegetables? Actually, you could have gone for local vegetables. Actually, to my opinion, these will perform well under hydroponics. Already, exotic vegetables used to perform well under hydroponics or nutrioponics or nutrient film technique.
Yes,
so you should have selected some other local vegetables of our regional importance. Then it will be more better, I feel.
Sure, ma'am. But before starting the experiment, we have just planned for that. That vegetable should have good market value, and then it should be consumed in every time. So that based on it, we have selected these crops, and also for now in hotels and all big hotels, we are going for this exotic. So that we have selected.
Next new generation are fond of this type of vegetables. We know. Even then, we cannot ignore our local vegetables like that. Is it not? Amaranthus. What is? It is also a good. That also you could have tried along with this exotic. And another thing I wanted to tell is regarding the nutrient content you estimated.
Yes, ma'am.
You have gone only for iron and protein like that, but to my opinion, zinc is very important nowadays. You know, COVID time and all, we have taken lot of care, our resistance with the zinc and all. That also you could have included in this.
Sure, definitely.
Okay, thank you. Very good presentation.
Thank you,
Anything else? Otherwise, yeah, one more from back. It's someone is. You introduce yourself so people will know whom we are.
Myself Anashwara S.J. from the Department of Floriculture and Landscaping. Actually, my doubt is that I have heard, even though there is an increased productivity and quality of the plants, I have heard that there is a decreased shelf life in hydroponically grown plants compared to conventional method of conventionally grown plants. So, did you observe anything like that?
No, we have not gone for any storage experiments, but based on my visual observation that I have harvested the leaves, and then after the harvest we can see that it is good as like that of the normal condition. I have not normally on visual observation I have not faced any deterioration, but as per your suggestion, definitely next experiment we will go for this storage experiment, and then we can compare the storage like all of hydroponically cultivated vegetables and then normal in soil protected vegetables. Thank you.
So that's good. I think that's a take-home message you can convey. When you compare these vegetables, these points, nutrition-wise, which is better,
yes,
in the sense more iron or those, then storage value of these crops like this, and cost of cultivation, all these things. So thank you once again.
Sure, thank you, sir.
I call upon the last person to come and present. I don't know, is it? I think Shaila Joseph is there from Chalakudi. Otherwise, Vishnu Priya from Tavannur, KCAT. Okay.
So, good afternoon to all gathered here. I am myself Vishnu Priya, and I am here to take the seminar on the topic IoT based drip irrigation system for vertical farming structure in rain shelter. So these are the team members and faculties who have performed the study. So before moving into the deep insights of the study that we have conducted in our college, I would like to explain what is IoT and what is drip irrigation system in just a brief. So as we all know that drip irrigation is a method of micro irrigation in which allowing the water to drip slowly into the root zone of the plant. And definitely IoT is the recent advancement of the technology, but I would not say that the updated technology, there are other updated technologies like artificial intelligence and all, but this is the most common version that we have been conducting throughout our country. And the main objective of the study was definitely incorporating this IoT into this drip irrigation system and a comparison between the conventional method of irrigation and IoT based drip irrigation system in vertical farming structure. So this is the vertical farming structure that we have been selected, and this is the rain shelter of Precision Farming Development Center located in the instructional farm of KCAT College, and these are the measurements of this vertical farming structure. So moving on to the methodology and the deep insights of the study. The first methodology that we have been conducted is the soil media preparation and the determination of the soil moisture constants. So definitely soil media is necessary because it is a mixture of various organic and inorganic components that provide necessary nutrients definitely for the soil, and the soil media that we have taken is soil, sand, dried and powdered cow dung and the vermicompost, which was mixed in the ratio of 1:1:1:0.5, and this media was then filled in grow bags in each row of the vertical farming structure that I have already shown, and around 21 grow bags were selected, and each were and these 3 grow bags each were kept in all the rows. And soil moisture constants including field capacity and wilting point was measured from with the help of pressure plate apparatus in the laboratory, and we found the value as the respective values of 23.47 and 13.37 respectively, and this was definitely helpful for finding out the available moisture content value. And the next method was the field trial and planting method. So as a whole, the research was conducted in 2 separate trials. The first trial that we have conducted was based on the conventional method of irrigation, and it was being conducted during the period of March 15 to April 20, and the second trial was based on the IoT based drip irrigation system, and the crop that we have been taken was Amaranthus CO1 variety, and the seedlings after 22 days of sowing was transplanted into the grow bag in the vertical farming structure. So this is the circuit description and programming of the code and respective circuit that we have been taken, and these are the components like AC or DC input was there, then the node MCU, and this was the main part because this is the microcontroller of the whole circuit, and LCD display for display of the moisture content in respective schedule, and the capacity soil moisture sensor have been taken because it is the main sensor. We would get the value in a more and better and efficient manner. These are the components that I have already mentioned, and the code was needed for the operation was developed in the language of Python language. It was also be helped by one of the faculties of our college. So the next step after this circuit programming and all was the installation of the drip irrigation system in the rain shelter. So this is the most common method of installation of drip irrigation, like water was initially collected from the source, then it was transferred using main pipe, then sub-main, lateral, and finally to the microtube using emitters, and the emitter having a discharge capacity of 4 LPH was being taken, and at the end an end cap also was placed, and this is the normal method of installation of drip irrigation. So this was essentially needed for implementing this IoT in our rain shelter. So this is the basic methodologies that we have used after installation of drip irrigation, like setting of the circuit and the providing electric connection in the whole rain shelter, for we have to take water from the pump, so for that purpose, then fixing of the circuit in one of the row of the vertical farming structure, then fixing capacity moisture sensor in the grow bag of the respective rows, then connecting pump, then finally fixing of the modem and LCD screen in one of the side of the vertical farming structure. So these are the processes of implementations of the IoT in drip irrigation. And this is based on the working of the IoT based system. Thus the circuit diagram has been just shifted into connection diagram. So this is the normal method of this is the main circuit have been just replaced into a connection diagram, and the working of the IoT based system is depicted in the next diagram. So this is the basic representation. The threshold limit of the moisture content was calculated as ESP at 25%. So when the main working is that when the moisture is below the threshold limit, the pump starts working. So when the pump starts working, the water from the tank is pumped into a lateral and finally to dripper. So the Amaranthus CO1 variety would get the water. But when it correctly reaches 25%, it would stop working, and this is the automation. And the moisture values are shown on the LCD screen and the blink application, and about the blink application I would be explaining in the coming slide, and it could be also be installed in the mobile phone, because every time we will be analyzing that how it would be helpful for us. So personally we must have an use after this project. So this blink application could be installed in the mobile phone itself, so we would get an updated information about all the informations that we have been measured from the rain shelter. And with the help of this data, moisture content using each hour, day and week could be analyzed, and following that analysis, various other measurement also could be taken. So this is the Blink applications dashboard that you have been seeing in this slide. So Blink is the updated Internet of Things platform. Which makes controlling hardware, and the working of the drip irrigation was been analyzed. So this is the dashboard showing. And general data like pump water status and the moisture value could be depicted. But even if we are taking more subscription in these same applications, we would be getting further other values also. But because of some limitations of monetary expenses and all, we just evaluated this moisture value and the water pump status. So moving on to the analysis. So this is the moisture analysis of the week week of the respective values of the IoT based system. But moving on to the overall analysis. So when we are just evaluating the values, we could hear that this would just maintain an overall consistent values. So this is just the line graph depicting the same values. So we have also validated this experiment using Oven-Train method. So final value have been get through Oven-Train method is 28, and from Blink application 29. So it was done optimum value. So these are the biometric observations. And also on comparison, we can see that in the respective column, all the values have been increased in the case of IoT based irrigation. This is also the comparison. Increased yield, crop length, weed growth is minimum labor saving, shallow root depth, all are the advantages. So future scope also with the help of sensors could be used, providing water pump, etc. is the future scope. So moving on to the conclusion, we can see that the final result is that IoT based irrigation have the better performance as compared to the conventional method of irrigation. And also all the project have a flip side also, because the high cost compared to conventional, then daily monitoring is required, clogging of the drippers could be also a problem. But in the future, all the major data could be analyzed in the mobile phone because with the updation of the technologies itself. So these are the major conclusions that I have decided, and these are the references. Thank you.
A good attempt.
Thank
Very
you.
good one. But I have one or two suggestions. One is that the period of study, you have shown the months. Which year?
2023.
That you know, I don't know, no?
Okay, sir.
Number two, when you compare two values, the statistics should to be employed. T values, then only we know which is better. You tell that is taller, how much taller, whether it was significant. You have not shown.
Yes, sir. The comparison of the width of the leaf.
With T value, I have not seen. Yeah. Where is the statistics?
The rough values also.
Yeah. We should know whether it is statistically significant now. Then again the next one. Next slide. Yeah. Pest attacks was maximum. What do you mean by maximum? 100% is maximum.
Maximum.
No crop was there. Pest. So in that way you have to, if you had involved in maybe, modify. These are suggestions. Okay. I can tell many suggestions from here. So but it is a good, then I would like to know the cost of this module.
So for our project, the cost was around 7,000 rupees.
For that module, the entire thing will come.
No, entire project it was 7,000.
I am asking the structure plus your IoT, all the module put together, how much?
Circuit.
Circuit, everything. You showed some structure, no?
Vertical farming structure.
Vertical farming plus?
The structure was already in our college farm,
okay.
so we don't have to spend for that structure.
Yeah. So it's
only
good.
we have installed some other.
Try to upscale it. That is a good one. Try to upscale. Okay. Thank you very much. Any more questions?
Yeah. Then again, the same questions. I mean, my observers, the chair already asked you about it. Then again, how do you generate this data? Data. How do you generate the data? Is it IoT? Yeah. You have taken it from internet, or I mean, you have recorded. I mean, how do you generate it?
Yes, sir. We have also put the modem in the for that. Maybe we have put internet connection in the in the range shelter itself. So by coding itself, we will be getting the updated data from Blink application. So from the code itself, we would be the values could be submitted in the form of values into the Blink application. So we could be directly seeing from the mobile phone itself.
Yeah. Then I mean that would have been much better if you could have presented those data. Then again, I mean the pressure. What I mean, you said about the water pump. Then what is the pressure? I mean, optimum pressure that is required for the system. Then you didn't say anything about. I mean, none of your presentation you have shown any concrete data. That's a major problem. I mean, okay, this is a qualitative thing, not a quantitative. I mean, when you present a research paper, probably you could have gone for a quantitative. Then, I mean, it would have been very easy for us to understand and then analyze it. Then, I mean, for the sake of the academic interest, I mean, what is the water pressure that you generated using a pump?
0.4 HP.
I mean, you said about the pump. You are generating the water pressure inside the system using a pump. I mean, what is the? I mean, academic interest is asking you that.
Sir, 0.4 HP pump.
1 point, but again, water pressure, not the horsepower or the pump.
1 to 2
but again,
kilogram per centimeter square.
Huh?
1 to 2 kilogram per centimeter square.
How much?
1 to 2.
Yeah. Okay. That's it. Yeah. Any questions?
Anything more? Yeah, Dr. Suresh.
It's good work.
Yeah.
I think I missed it or not. Whether you are using a soil moisture sensor in this one?
Yes, sir. Capacity soil moisture sensor.
Okay. So that is how you are detecting the 25% reduction. Why you maintain that 25%? So 25% soil moisture capacity.
ESP. So because from the pressure plate apparatus field capacity was around 23.47. So we just when the drip irrigation system ESP value would be we just taken because the field capacity was around 23. So we just shifted to the ESP as threshold limit.
It was compared with the conventional practice. How was the conventional practice done in this?
Conventional practice.
You are comparing conventional with the drip irrigation system.
Yes,
system.
Conventional we just only water them by direct manual watering of the plants. Because that have been using many of the household in our house also. That is conventional.
So you are maintaining a permanent water source for this one?
IoT, yes sir.
Permanent water source. Water source you are
A water tank was kept in the rain shelter.
That is at higher altitude or there pumping was needed?
Yeah, pump was taken.
Sir, actually work is good. I have two layman questions. Like how your technology is different from the existing technology. Now already soil based in Maharashtra, they are now have a technology. Now they reach nearly more than 3,000 farmers to my knowledge. They fix the same field moisture machines in this one, and they connected with this mobile and everything. Now farmer need not to go to the field. So with again, if you go to the control environment agriculture, already a lot of models and equipment also suppliers are there in this country also. So how your technology is differ from there?
Actually, this IoT is the upcoming technology for our country that has been practicing for all the farmers out in our country. The one thing I have seen the difference is that obviously the platform that I have been taken like is Blink application, because most of the farmers are unaware about the technical aspects of most of the platform, because in the Blink application we will be getting a free accessibility for some of the criteria including water pump status and the moisture content value. But with on, I have already mentioned that with on a subscription we would be getting more data. So maybe this could be unaware for all the farmers out in our country. So this could be implemented for them, like awareness of the technology for them as well. And of course vertical farming structure, because I have been selected that for more yield and better productivity. I think most of the farmers could be practiced when they have a small land holding. Irrespective of the wide area, and also artificial intelligence, the next higher advancement of the technology could also be practiced in a wide area as well.
One more small question: how much energy or labor you saved with this technology? In your any comparison have you made?
How much
energy or labor you saved with your technology in terms of irrigation?
Labor saving, actually 3 labors were be saved for this purpose, because during conventional irrigation, the farm for watering of the plants, we were being actually we members itself just manually water the plant, like we 4 of our members. So that would be saved in the IoT, because after installation we often or we rarely only go to the field for just analysis, because all the information would be getting into the hands of mobile phone itself. So labor saving was that. And moving on to the energy, I think energy requirement would be little more, because of the electrical energy would be taken, of course. Then so that kind of energy would be, I think, perhaps increased in the case of IoT.
It's through, I think. Thank you very much. So I think one more presenter is there. Yeah. Your name, madam? Remya Mulu. Okay. From College of Agriculture, Vellanikura. Yeah.
Good afternoon, all. Myself, Ramya Moluke. I am here to present my research topic on utilization of finger millet flour for the development of edible dessert cup, an alternative for plastic tableware. The plastic food packaging are significant and tremendous impact on environment. Most of street shops and public eating places were used plastic tablewares for serving food. It is harmful for human body. It contains carcinogens and toxins. With this aspect, I present my study. The objective of this study, standardization of edible dessert cups using finger millet flour and maize flour, and to evaluate nutritional and organoleptic qualities of the developed dessert cups. Moving to the materials and methods. Collection and processing of raw materials. The edible dessert cups were formulated by using finger millet flour and maize flour. Finger millet, maize flour and all other raw ingredients needed to the study were purchased from local market. Moving to the optimization of finger millet flour incorporated edible dessert cups. The finger millet flour was used as a major ingredient in varying proportion 90 to 40%, along with the maize flour 10 to 60%, and all other ingredients were used for blend the flour. A dough was formed. This is the protocol for the preparation of finger millet flour incorporated edible dessert cups. The mixing of finger millet flour, maize flour and all other ingredients. A dough were prepared, the sheeting and molding in a desirable shape of mold. Then it is baked under at 180 degrees Celsius for 90 minutes, and then it's formed. Results. Based on the organoleptic evaluation, the mean score and mean rank score was found highest in FT5, the treatment FT5, which is prepared using 50% of finger millet flour and 50% of maize flour. There was a significant agreement between the judges in all parameters. Moving to the textural analysis of developed finger millet flour incorporated edible dessert cups. The effect of incorporation level of finger millet flour were studied on the hardness were studied. The highest hardness of 98.707 Newton was in the control sample, which is prepared by using wheat flour. Then followed by the FT6 and FT5. The FT6 and FT5 were found on par on the DMRT analysis. These are the finger millet incorporated edible dessert cups. Based on the organoleptic and textural properties, the treatment FT5 was selected for the further studies. The physicochemical properties and proximate composition of finger millet flour incorporated edible dessert cup. The best combination was 50% of finger millet flour and 50% of maize flour. They have the moisture content of 3.46%, pH 5.32, water absorption index 4.4%, water solubility index 8.56, oil absorption capacity 1.2%. It has nutritional qualities like protein 9.31, fat 3.99, carbohydrate 83.31 gram, and crude fiber 1.95 gram. The cost of the developed edible dessert cup was rupees 30 per piece, which is lesser than the commercially available edible dessert cup. Conclusion, finger millet flour incorporated edible dessert cups were optimized. The 50% finger millet could be incorporated to edible dessert cup. The treatment FT5, which is prepared by using 50% of finger millet flour and 50% of maize flour, was the most acceptable combination. The developed edible dessert cups were nutritionally superior, which have the protein content of 9.31 gram, carbohydrate content of 83.31 gram, and crude fiber content of 1.95 gram. The developed edible dessert cups were shelf stable without any preservative up to 3 months and 3 months of storage, and developed edible dessert cups were cost effective. Thank you.
Thank you, Rememon. One or two questions. I could not get one piece dessert cup, 30 rupees. You are telling the other one, whether it will come,
Commercially available.
how much will be the cost of one?
Commercially available edible spoon having 20 rupees. Edible spoon.
Spoon.
Yeah.
This is cup, no?
Cup.
Ah.
So it is 30 rupees, and biodegradable plates and ranges between 50 rupees.
No, actually this finger millet we don't have locally. No, you bring the material, you get the flour. Cost will be more. No, why didn't you try tapioca flour? Sometimes glut is there. No, a lot of tapioca people don't.
In my PhD research work, I tried tapioca, elephant protein, and all.
Oh, you tried. This is better.
Jackfruit tree. No, just a part of thesis work, I put this.
Okay. And in your title, I think slide, offs were missing. I think you hate offs.
No.
Huh? First slide, you see, offs.
Yeah, the chairman rightly pointed out why it is 100% ragi rather than any other combinations.
No, sir, I used to prepare tapioca, jackfruit tree, banana peel.
So there's a combination of all these things.
One combination, sir. This is.
You have just presented one combination.
I prepared 16 combinations. 16 sets of combinations.
Yeah, then again temperature, you have put it as 180 degree for 90 minutes. Why it is 180 degree?
For baking, sir. The perfect.
Man, is there any review on that? I mean 180 degree, why do you go for 180?
Trials are done. The 180 degrees Celsius is the better temperature. Otherwise, if less than 180 degrees Celsius, it not bake properly, sir. Not baking properly.
Yeah, here you are shown the absorption index and solubility index. Did you take into consideration while selecting that combination?
It's based on the organoleptic and textural
Yeah.
properties, sir. Based on the hardness of the edible tableware, I
Agree.
selected for the.
No, have you taken that into consideration of selecting that combination?
Based on the organoleptic results, sir. They selected FT5 because it's not cracked and all. So it's selected.
Then the cost, like the chair said, the cost seems to be slightly on the higher side. I mean, can you beat plastic on that? I mean, it's about 28 rupees. The plastic is more dearer, I suppose. Yeah.
We have more technologies for developing this.
Yeah, it should be cheaper compared to plastic. I mean, otherwise, I mean, I don't know how far you will be able to popularize the same.
And
Yeah.
also there is a pertinent Candy data is available on the protocol, standardized protocol.
Okay, that's all. Okay.
What is the use of adding this edible gum?
For binding, ma'am.
Okay.
Because the finger millet does not have gluten, so for better binding and sheeting capacity, we use edible gum.
Any questions from the audience? I think this is the last one. I think it is done. Yeah, Susan.
It is a good technology during the International Year of Millets, actually. So how you are going to popularize?
Through KU only, ma'am.
That is very important because you yourself is convinced of the technology, then you can popularize this one. It's a good one because finger millet we are all knowing the nutritive value and all, then it's good work actually. Thank you.
I think we have come to the final of this session. If our evaluators, they want to give some comments, general comments, in general about the presentations.
Yeah, as far as the technology is concerned, I mean, some of the presenters came up with some good technologies, obviously that is there. And then again, it was from the diversified field, I mean, right from agriculture, irrigation, then processing. I mean, it was very nice to hear from different scientists. Again, I should say, some of the technologies that presented here can be replicated and it can be adopted by the farmers. I mean, taking some more concrete effort on standardizing these technologies. Otherwise, I mean, the presentation was good. I mean, I congratulate all the presenters who have done their presentation here. Thank you.
As an ending note, I'll just tell this is a need of the hour, urban agriculture. I studied here in Velaini maybe 4 years back. At that time it was only in the budding stage. So I feel now it's a need for having urban agriculture as a module. Maybe it may be there, not only for the students, but for the general public. E-learning MO, that MOOC course can be started, or a paid course. Even one of my junior from TNAU, he's doing a course every 3 months course. He's charging 8,000 rupees. One of my friend attended. He is bedridden, so he attended this course. So a lot of new information. What are the best? What are the new technologies for doing urban agriculture? You have terrace. Mostly everybody they have their houses, but subsequently they purchase flats like Susan Madam. Then they finally settle down there. So in those after 60, you should have some activity for which some structure should be there which will fit into your house. So like you give your rooms a lot of interior work. This gardening can now become an interior type of activity. Some specialists should come. They can measure the sit-outs or juttings or whatever it is there, terrace and all. According to your situation, they can mold specialized structures. I know a friend in Tiruvalla who does that, but not in a big way. What I'm trying to tell that now people after studying BSc Agriculture, they feel frustrated. They don't get jobs very fast. But this can become a employment opportunity. IoT club together, because people, some of my colleagues, they ask, I have to employ a laborer to switch on the motor for irrigating the field and all. So all these can be automated. So if you have technology, but these are coming up only as presentations. KU should think in a big way to popularize all these things, commercialize these technologies in a bigger way. Short courses can be done, Malayalam based courses. People now, they watch reels, YouTube, everything. So such courses, they'll fetch money for the organization and it will disseminate the technology in a better way. So you should understand the strength of this urban agriculture, weakness of urban agriculture, opportunity, threat, all these things are there. Definitely it is there. And now if you search in the net also, urban agriculture, a lot of things are coming. All the foreign countries, they have apps. Don't have space, but in peri-urban areas, farmers are there. You can invest there. Every week, you can go and bring your vegetables from that particular plot. You invest like 2 lakh rupees. 20 people put together. You give it to a farming community, a Kudumbasri unit. They will also generate income. You also need not purchase your vegetables from your nearby pesticide-laden vegetables and all that. So we know that whatever we get from the market, it comes from different sources. So when you know the source, you can purchase your own vegetables from your own farm. That's a new concept coming up. So in that way it is there. Then green, as you tell, consuming in the Lent season, you avoid the meat, fish and all. Proteins are needed. Greens are so microgreens is a talk of the day. When my friend who is in the bedridden, Bijulal, he does a lot of microgreen cultivation in his wheelchair. So that can go for aged people, plus 70, plus 80. So they get some sort of entertainment, some sort of dopamine. So they get motivated. Loneliness is gone. Parents, after some age, your children will be in abroad. So you do farming, so KU can motivate all these things in a better way. So what I try to tell is that you have to take it as an opportunity. So make courses out of it, and maybe a lot of innovation scope is also there. So what I feel is that don't stop with this seminar. A take-home message is that after this seminar, certain things you can take ahead. KU has such course curriculum for the students, for the PGs, and for public, wherein modules can be created by paying the module. A group of 10, they can create a module. What I learned from Bijulal is that one chief, he was my junior, he comes once in a week to deliver the lecture. But his juniors will be attending every day some sessions. So in that way, it becomes an employment opportunity. The government is also very much worried about giving employment to people. Government jobs are not going to come. So these sort of networking or using the innovations or the platforms, internet platforms, IoTs, all these things can bring revenue in terms of bringing the modules, course curriculums, even a lot of what you call queries will be there when you do a lot of things, a lot of pests, a lot of other problems will be there, all these things, a lot of consultants are needed. So you can create a team of consultants in that way. So I think I appreciate KU for conducting this international seminar. It's a need of the hour, but don't stop here. Take it ahead. You should go ahead, but though whatever said and done, we also, but the seminar it ends, but this should be a platform to take it ahead. Thank you very much for conducting the seminar. Thanks a lot.
That's the end of technical session 2. I thank the chairman, Dr. Reggie Jacob sir, the evaluators, Dr. Anil KR and Dr. Rehna, and all the participants. Thank you. The participants for the poster presentation under the theme Technology and Innovation in Urban Agriculture are requested to be present near their respective posters for evaluation. Now, technical session 3 on urban biodiversity and ecosystem services begins. I invite Dr. Susan John K., Principal Scientist, ICAR-CT CRI Srikaryam to chair the session. Co-chairman, Dr. Santosh Mitra VS, Principal Scientist, ICAR-CT CRI Srikaryam. The evaluators are Dr. Prakash P., Scientist, ICAR-CT CRI Srikaryam, Dr. Vishalakshi Chandra C., Scientist, ICAR-CT CRI Srikaryam. Over to the chair.
Good afternoon, all of you. Now we are moving to the technical session 3. Actually, we have 2 lead talks, and afterwards we will be going for oral presentations. So first, you all may be knowing the importance of this session and all. As the previous chairman was telling, urban agriculture has gone to a great extent nowadays, especially in urban and peri-urban areas. So I appreciate the effort of the university in bringing the people associated with urban agriculture to a common platform for delivering their ideas and coming to some conclusions. With this introduction, I am inviting the lead talk speaker, Dr. Bhuvana C., who is the program coordinator for the Solid Waste Management Roundtable, Karnataka. The topic is actually on decentralized composting for urban environments. Please, Dr. Bhuvana.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Bhuvana. I work as a program coordinator at Solid Waste Management Roundtable, known as SWMRT. So we started our organization in 2009, and we call ourselves as practitioners. And we work with citizens, communities, and municipalities. So to implement any program or particularly composting as such. So to implement that in any public places, it's not just the community, we also need the municipalities in our hand. So then coming to any environmental topic, it's not just about waste as a standalone or water or soil or air. So it is how we develop a link between all this. So through solid waste management, we are trying to have a more holistic approach towards linking it to healthy soil, water and air. So what we are trying to address here in today's topic is about the wet waste management. So 60% of the daily waste that is produced at our household is wet waste. So this wet waste, I'll be talking with reference to the Bangalore city, will be either going to a centralized composting facility, or it will be going to a landfill. So this centralized composting facility is present really far from the city, and you know Bangalore traffic and how traveling from one place to another really takes a long time. So it is not feasible for these vehicles who collect the waste to transport the wet waste to this centralized facility. Rather, it is easier actually to send it out to the landfills. So that is where our intervention lies. That is where the SWMRT is working to divert the waste from reaching the landfills. So for that, we have started something called decentralized waste management. So try to manage your wet waste through composting near or at the source of where it is generated. For example, it could be your house, it could be temples, parks, apartments, or any communities, like even lane composting.
Thank you both for the introduction. I'm Supraja, I'm working as an intern with the same organization. So since yesterday we have been discussing a lot of things about urban agriculture, the growing need for urban agriculture and the scope. But we identify ourselves in the value chain where we make compost out of it, of all the solid waste. So as Guna has already mentioned how it is a problematic issue of landfills and all. From 1990 to 2023 till now, the area of landfills in Bangalore particularly is 1,100 acres. It means like the KAU two campuses of KAU, imagine it's all landfills. So it's like a huge issue. But what is the solution for this? Landfills is what we are promoting social responsibility of individuals to manage waste at the source itself, be it home, be it any educational institutions or any other places. So in 2016 we have started Swachhagraha campaign where we asked individuals to take a 7-day pledge to manage their own waste, be it fruit peels, kitchen waste and everything, make compost at home. It really got a lot of attention, and with this campaign we then went back to decentralized system. So now we have been saying decentralized system is a solution, but if decentralized is a solution, how are we going to achieve that? With a lot of research and trial and error methods by SWMRT, we have developed a lot of simple composting methods, which we call do-it-yourself composting methods, just like we do any do-it-yourself art, simple things like that. Do-it-yourself is very simple methods of composting and yet very effective and cost. So when it comes to composting, what is the problem we think in urban settings, right? It's mostly space, time and finance. But our aim is to address these three challenges and make composting available for every household, to the urban poor and every community, and it's really very easy, and to break the notion that composting is a dirty work to do and composting is something which stinks. It actually doesn't stink. Compost never stinks if you are doing it in a certain way. So we have many methods of composting which are simple and cost effective. The first one being pipe composting. So it is basically a vertical pipe which is nestled in on the ground, or you can keep it directly in the plant pot. So what you do is you continuously add your fruit peels, vegetable peels, all your wet waste, and then it directly goes to the plant when it becomes compost. So it's such an easy thing, and it doesn't require any much time, and it doesn't require much of resources. It's just one pipe, right? It's the only thing investment. But the problem with this thing was that it makes only small amount of compost, right? So the next thing which we developed was a bucket or drum composter, where we all have waste buckets in our home. which we don't use, like the paint buckets, a lot of things. So you can just drill. So what our focus of composting methods is aerobic. We mostly do aerobic way of composting. So in this drum and bucket, you just drill holes throughout the bucket, and you don't need to have a drilling machine also. See, like I live in a hostel, but I had a closed dustbin which by which we made like holes using a sharp needle. You just heat it and do it. It's such a simple thing. But again, it's like household level. When it is coming to people who are joint family and who want to continuously compost, so it's a small thing. So another thing which through this we developed was pot bin and mesh composting, wherein the same as that you'll have a bucket, but then it is overlapped with a mesh so that the quantity of compost is increased, and which is closed with a lid, just like how we close fruits to avoid flies falling on that. So this is the same thing. And yeah, next is a mesh composter. So a lot of we have been here since yesterday, and we observed that a lot of this is such a beautiful campus. There are a lot of trees, but all the leaf waste is going waste, right? So we don't consider waste as waste in SWMRT. We consider waste as wealth. So all these dry leaves in parks, educational institutions, everything, you can try using a mesh composter, which is a mobile composter. You can move it, you can do it in platforms anywhere. That is a simple thing. So all these four which I have talked about earlier are simple methods which cater to small quantities of compost. But how do we go about large quantities of composting, be it a whole apartment or larger communities and municipalities? So one such method is platform composting and heap composting, wherein large layers of waste is being added to soil and then cow dung slurry. So it is another way of aerobic composting, where you get good quality of compost which can be used for agricultural purposes and community garden also. Then is the banana pond, which is an interesting story. We call it as the Bakasura of our garden ghost. So it's like all the garden dry leaves and all. So why do we need an infrastructure to make compost? This is how we started. We digged a pit with some water openings with the inspired by the permaculture technique, where you have banana and papaya plants grown around, and then continuously when you add waste, so it becomes compost, and that's how it goes to the plants around. So all these pictures are something not from internet, which are from the use all people who are working with SWMRT and everywhere, people who have tried this. And the last one being cement ring composters. Right? So cement rings, we see the first thing we remember is like long ago we used to have at the street corner, this is used as a dustbin. But why don't we use it like composting? So it is another way of composting where you can cater to large quantities of waste, and you can avoid like rats and other animals coming and lying in your compost. So these are the decentralized and do-it-yourself easy ways of composting methods by which we are promoting not only individual responsibility for solid waste management, but with the compost you again grow your own vegetables and cook your food. It's almost like growing your responsibility of cooking your own food, and you have that connectedness. Since yesterday we have been talking about how urban agriculture is good for mental well-being of people. So this is something very similar to that.
Okay, so you might have heard about NIMBY and IMBY. So NIMBY attitude is not in my backyard. So once the waste just goes out of your house, that is more than enough, even if it is going to someone else's backyard. So that is what we call as the NIMBY attitude. But that we are changing to IMBY, that yes, in my backyard. So that is what we are doing by promoting home composting or temple composting. We work with apartments, temples to help manage their wet waste. So that is a famous a member of SWMRT. She's Vani Murthy ma'am. So famously known as Worm Rani on Instagram. So let us look at how these decentralized systems have worked in real. So Siddhi Vinayaka is a temple present at HSR layout of Bangalore. So here waste that is generated is segregated into 5 types: wet waste, dry waste, the leafy bowls that you get where they serve the food, and the diyas and coconut shells. So what happens to the flower waste is that the flour with the string or the thread, it shouldn't be added to the composting. It should always be separated before adding it. So we have set of volunteers or community people who come, who engage in de-stringing the flour, along with one of our member who is always present. So that is how composting is going on in this temple of Bangalore. This is just one example. There are other temples also. So there is a park called Richmond Park, also located in Bangalore. So we have a park tank composting there, where we use that tank to compost leaves, any garden cuttings, or even flower and fruit and vegetable waste from the nearby market. So even here we have an entire community that is involved. They'll come, they'll de-string the flowers, they'll chop the vegetables before adding and do the composting. We also train these staff on how to do the layering of this composting. Then we have a unique concept called lane composting, which is also in HSR layout of Bangalore. So there are 13 lane composters. So as the name goes, so lane in the sense the houses that are falling in that particular lane, so all that waste is composed at one place. So that is lane composter. And the compost that is harvested is distributed among the residents living in that particular lane. So we have something called Swachhagraha Kalika Kendra, a solid waste management learning center, where we have set up different community composting methods, home composting methods that are of do-it-yourself, that is simple methods which Supraja presented, and also which are available in the market or which are vendor-based. So we have a community garden there, and we have a zero-waste home setup, that is what alternatives you can use at your home to shift to a sustainable living. And we conduct sessions where we train corporate employees, students, school kids on how to do composting. So how do we implement this project is we identify the team. For example, I'll give an example of an apartment. We identify the interested team, we visit the apartment, we do an assessment, we tell them which type of composter they can use and where they can place these composters, and we do certain frequent visits and follow-ups till they get the process on hold. Yeah, so to conclude, be it temple, be it apartment or anything, community involvement is very important to implement these projects, and our ultimate motto is to divert the waste from reaching the landfills, and through that we are trying to protect the water, air, soil health, and we also promote compost, grow and cook. So you do composting, you grow using that compost, and you cook and eat healthy food. So, and the last thing is start with whatever you have. So some people think, okay, composting, I have to buy that, I have to buy this. So it's not like that. You can start with any container that you have. You can build your own composter, and there's something called greens and browns. So for the browns, you can bring the dry leaves that you get on the road with the street sweeping, and so it can do it with zero cost also. Yeah. Thank you.
Actually, I forgot to introduce my co-chair and my evaluators. So you all may be knowing, we all are from CTCRI. My colleague, Dr. Santosh Mitra, he is an expert in IoT and smart farming. You all may be knowing very well. Dr. Vishala, she is a plant breeder, and she is also associated with CTCRI. And Dr. Prakash is a very good economist. And with this, I am handing over to Mitra for his comments on this presentation.
Thank you, Dr. Susan. It's a nice presentation. Congratulations for the good work you have been doing for the society. What I want to ask you is whether you charge for your services or it is free?
So we do charge for the very first visit. Suppose an apartment approaches us, okay, we have to compost, can you come and help us? The very first visit is free. So subsequent follow-ups, or if we have to keep visiting to train the staff or to check the process, or if they have any problem like flies or all that, then those visits are charged.
How much time you expect to complete, to train the staff pakka so that they will be able to do themselves? So you will be supplying the materials from your company? Or?
No, we don't supply the materials. We just train them with the knowledge. We just do knowledge sharing. So how much time it will take will depend on the staff, but at one go, at one training, they'll understand what to do. But in the frequent follow-ups when we go, we'll check if they're doing it right way. So it's not a difficult task. They'll learn it soon. With 2-3 follow-up, 2-3 visits, they'll get that process done.
So I presume that Bangalore Corporation is also doing the same service, or? So what is the difference you are doing compared to them?
No, corporation, they something called KCDC, Karnataka Compost Development Corporation. So that's only one centralized composting facility that is present. So waste from the nearby wards may go there, but not all the wet waste can travel such far distances. It is very far from the city, and yeah, Bangalore, it takes time to travel. So it goes to landfills.
Also, one thing which we were focusing is on decentralized system where people do home composting.
Not clear. Please louder.
So one thing other than what Bona said, I wanted to add is it's decentralized composting we are building. Like you be the responsibility of the waste you generated. So segregating the waste at source and managing the waste at source. So if the BBMP is doing it, goes to the compost again goes to the BBMP, right? So here, like the main motto again is to grow your own vegetables. So compost stays with individuals.
Okay, nice. It's a good initiative. I think we will give chance to audience.
So actually, composting is a very important thing. I also had done some work on composting actually for my PhD student on cassava starch factory solid waste. It is called Tippi, that I have composted to a good organic manure, and it is a type of recycling like that. So that I used vermicomposting mainly. Different treatments I did, and among that vermicomposting was found as the best. Actually, CN ratio and all, I don't know whether, so the CN ratio we could reduce to a great extent, 10 times like that through that composting. So here what I want to tell, your concept on NIMBY to IMBY is a very good one. Actually in Kerala also we are trying to do like that. In agriculture, our College of Agriculture, Vellayani, Department of Soil Science and Agriculture Chemistry also, we have a plan for solid waste management like that. That also they are popularizing to a great extent with some nutrient solution and all. So here actually what is the media or what is the mediator you are going in this composting? So any nutrient solution or any microbes, or what is the technology basically in that one?
So we would like to keep it as low cost as possible because people will adopt to it. So for the microbial addition, we usually suggest diluted cow dung slurry or sour curd. So apartments are using cow dung slurry as
so
the
that alone you are
that's
doing.
all. Yeah.
Okay. Then
Some
how much
also
time?
buy microbes from outside. It depends on how much funds they have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then how long it will take?
Ma'am, it will take around 40 to 45 days for this. It's mostly aerobic composting. So for this aerobic composting to be ready, it will take 40 to 45.
Actually 45 to 60 days is the normal duration, I think. How your people are accepting this technology when you are going for making them aware of the technology and all, how they are receiving it?
So it's actually little tough to get that behavior change. For apartment, it's not only, okay, you can go and start composting. First, segregation has to fall into place. You shouldn't get mixed waste. You should get only wet waste. So for that to happen, it will take some time. Then the composting will start. And once they harvest the first compost, then they will start, actually liking the process and actually observing it. So yeah, it's been a good journey and good change among people.
it's a good thing as far as the environment is concerned and urban agriculture is concerned. Your effort and initiative looks very nice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anybody is having any queries or clarifications? Yes.
Ma'am, actually, when we want to do composing in our own house, we feel it difficult to go that corner to avoid that smell. So when you are planning in such a community with such a maybe like some 50, 60 families are there in one apartment, when you are doing like how you are avoiding that like foul smell and other things, how you are managing, whether you are using any microbial consortia to reduce the time period, something.
No,
Please
time, we are not compromising on the time. It happens naturally. But regarding the smell, ideally composting process doesn't smell if done right. If done right in the sense, the browns that we add, greens is the kitchen waste that we get, browns is the cocoa peat or dry leaves that we add. If you add that more, then your compost won't smell. Usually it's added in the equal quantity. So in case you add little less, then it starts smelling. And sometimes when there is a lump, if there is a lump of rice that you add, then it smells. It should be broken down. Any rotten vegetable or fruit, you just add it to the compost, it will smell. It should be cut into 4-5 pieces and then added. Or when there is more moisture content, suppose tomato or watermelon you add, the moisture content will increase. That time you have to add more of browns so that that moisture is absorbed by these browns. Yeah.
My name is Manju Prem. I am from Extension Department of this college. My question is, you are giving services to the houses, temples, parks, but you have nowhere mentioned about the services for restaurants, hotels, where more waste is produced. Any such things you are doing?
Yeah, actually we haven't touched upon restaurants yet because there were some problems of, there's always a problem of space there. Temples, apartments, they all have space and we can start off immediately. And also apartments apartments classified as bulk waste generators with more than 100 households in Bangalore, they have to mandatorily do composting at their apartments. So we are trying to focus on those first, and restaurants we haven't touched actually, but we are looking forward. Even supermarkets and even restaurants. The constraint is, space constraint is there, but we have to work out how we can do more of a community or a common composting place.
Okay, if there are no more questions, we will move to the second invited lecture.
Thank you.
By Dr. Shivkumar, Sri Shivkumar BN, Deputy Director of Agriculture, Samedi, Kerala, on the topic integration of soilless farming and big irrigation. Actually, you all may be knowing Mr. Shivkumar very well. I also know him very well as a very good landscaper, I think. You can see the front view of Samedi now, how beautifully he has designed that vegetable architecture, I think. Like very nicely, his house also is a very nice temple of plants, especially vegetables and ornamental plants, I think. Very good agricultural practitioner, Mr. Shivkumar. So he will be giving a good lecture on the topic. So the time is 15 minutes, I think.
Thank you, madam. I am just presenting some experience, some success models from my office and also from the field. before going to the models, first we have to discuss about the peculiarities of urban farming. I think there are some special features of urban farmers as compared to these rural farmers. The most important one is that they are the marginal farmers having an area, an average of holding of less than 5 cents. And the other one is the area available for cultivation is in the homestead is either the homestead or on the rooftop. The other one is most of the population is highly educated and include employees, retired hands, housewives, youth and NRIs. I think it is our plus points for the transformation of idea. Then more concerned about food security and willing to grow maximum foodstuffs in their homesteads, especially fruits and vegetables. And these are the specialities of these urban farmers as compared to these our rural farmers. Then besides that, they are facing certain difficulties. Let us see what are the difficulties they are facing now. The first one is the difficulty in getting the topsoil is an important one. Second one, lifting the soil to the terrace is a tedious task. The other one is grow bags getting damaged. When they are using grow bags, it will be damaged after one or two cycles. It will be damaged. That is a serious problem there. Then soil-borne disease, especially in the case of these solanaceous vegetables. Mainly in case of tomato, there will be quick will be there. Then in the case of tomato, brinjal, and all that, this quick disease is an important calamity. Then more weight on, the farmers are not willing to load more weight on their terrace. That is also, it is also a serious problem they are facing now. Then the leakage problem on the terrace, basically on the rooftop. And in this model, we are just integrating two concepts. One is soilless farming with easily available raw materials. We are not depending on this hydroponics or aquaponics. We are just we are conducting soilless farming with the easily available raw materials in our homesteads, and we are also incorporating this soilless farming with the wick irrigation methods. And for wick irrigation, we are using eco-friendly cocoa peat wicks. Instead of that, glass wool wicks, we are incorporating this eco-friendly cocoa peat wicks. Then the other component for the wick irrigation is PVC pipe with 3 inches. And these are the basic materials for the bag filling. First one is waste newspaper. That is, it is available abundantly in our homes. Then the carbon compost, then the cow dung and dolomite. And these 4 items are the main ingredients for the bag filling. I think it is cheaper and it is abundantly available in all our homesteads. Then regarding the filling of the grow bag, as I have told that we are incorporating, we are integrating 2 methods here: the soilless farming and the wick irrigation. First, we have to fill the grow bags. For filling the grow bags, we are usually using this waste newspaper, or we can use this dried leaves for replacing this waste newspaper. First, we have to introduce this or insert the wicks in the grow bag or the containers. Then we are adding a single layer of grow bag, single layer of waste newspaper, and over that we can add a layer of cow dung. Then again a single layer of newspaper. Then and this process will be continued until it will be filled properly. Then over that we can add 20 to 30 grams of dolomite on the top of by adjusting the pH. Then irrigate the filled bag for a week thoroughly. Then we can plant the vegetables. If soilless cultivation is combined with wick irrigation, we can insert the wick inside before filling these bags. And this is the cocoa peat bags we are usually using for soilless farming. And this is the way of installing this PVC pipes. Mostly we are using 3 PVC pipes for the installation. And the distance between two PVC pipes are 1 meters, and the distance between the 2 plants are 50 centimeters. So that we can accommodate 5 to 10 plants. Actually, we can accommodate 10 plants in a single row at a distance of 50 centimeters. And after planting these vegetables. Usually we are using these non-trailing varieties like bindi, brinjal, tomato, then cauliflower, cabbage, etc. We can plant like this. And nowadays we are not using these grow bags for this soilless farming. We are using only these PVC containers, HDPE containers for this soilless farming practices. And this is the way of installation of soilless farming on terrace. And let us see the difference between the growth of these plants and the soilless farming plants and the plants growing in soil. This is some, you can see the changes here. When we are planting these plants in the soil medium, you cannot expect such type of growth here. അപ്പോൾ ഇത് ശരിക്കും ഞങ്ങളൊരു ഞാൻ അഗ്രികൾച്ചർ ഓഫീസറായിട്ട് ഇരുന്ന സമയത്ത് ഞങ്ങൾ ചാത്തന്നൂർ ബ്ലോക്കിൽ ഒരു പുതിയൊരു പദ്ധതി തുടങ്ങിയത്. അതിൻ്റെ പേര് പോഷകശ്രീ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞൊരു പദ്ധതിയായിരുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിൽ ഞങ്ങൾ ചെയ്തതെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ഒരു 50 ഗ്രോ ബാഗ് വീതം ഓരോ വീട്ടിലും അത് ഇൻസ്റ്റാൾ ചെയ്ത് കൊടുക്കുന്നത് അഗ്രോ സർവീസ് സെൻ്ററാണ് ഇൻസ്റ്റാൾ ചെയ്ത് കൊടുക്കുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിലാണ് നമ്മളിങ്ങനെ ഒരു പ്രോജക്റ്റ് ചെയ്തിരുന്നു. അതിൻ്റെ പേര് പോഷകശ്രീ എന്നാണ്. അത് 2013 മുതൽ 2019 മുതൽ കണ്ടിന്യൂസ് ആയിട്ട് ചെയ്തു വരുന്നുണ്ട്. ഇപ്പോഴും ആ ഒരു പദ്ധതി ഇപ്പോഴും ചാത്തന്നൂർ ബ്ലോക്കിൽ ചെയ്തു വരുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഇനിഷ്യൽ സ്റ്റേജിൽ ഞങ്ങൾ ശരിക്കും ഒരു ആത്മാ ഡെമോൺസ്ട്രേഷൻ നടത്തിയതാണ്. യുവർ സീയിങ് ആത്മാ ഡെമോൺസ്ട്രേഷൻ ഹിയർ. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിനകത്ത് ഞങ്ങൾ 5 ടൈപ്സ് ഓഫ് പ്ലാന്റ്സ് ആണ് ചെയ്തിരിക്കുന്നത്. അതിൽ ബ്രിഞ്ചാളുണ്ട്, ബിണ്ടിയുണ്ട്, ദെൻ അമരാന്തസ് ഉണ്ട്, അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ ചില്ലി ഉണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതൊക്കെയാണ് 5 പ്ലാന്റ്സ് ആണ് നമ്മൾ ചെയ്തത്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിൻ്റെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിൽ ഞങ്ങൾ ഒരു പ്രോജക്റ്റ് വെച്ചു. അപ്പം ടോട്ടൽ കോസ്റ്റ് ഓഫ് കൾട്ടിവേഷൻ ഈസ് 12,500 per for the 50 plants in a single farmstead. അതിൽ തന്നെ 9,375 9,375 rupees ആയിരുന്നു അതിൻ്റെ ബ്ലോക്ക് ലെവൽ കോൺട്രിബ്യൂഷൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ. അപ്പോൾ ശരിക്കും ഒരു ഫാർമർ 2,325 രൂപ മാത്രമായിരുന്നു അവർ അടക്കേണ്ടിയിരുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിലാണ് അങ്ങനെ ഒരു ഇത് ചെയ്തത്. അപ്പം ഇത് അതോടൊപ്പം തന്നെ ഞങ്ങൾ ചെയ്തൊരു കാര്യം എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ ആ ഓഫീസിൻ്റെ മുകളിൽ ഒരു ഡെമോൺസ്ട്രേഷൻ പ്ലോട്ട് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. ഓഫീസിൽ AD ഓഫീസിൻ്റെ മുകളിലൊരു ഡെമോൺസ്ട്രേഷൻ പ്ലോട്ട് ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ അവിടെ ഒരു ഡെമോൺസ്ട്രേഷൻ കൂടി ഞങ്ങൾ കാണിച്ചിരുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ കുറേ പിക്ചേഴ്സാണ് കാണുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതിനകത്ത് ഞങ്ങൾ മനസ്സിലാക്കിയ ഒരു പ്രധാനപ്പെട്ട കാര്യം, നമ്മളൊരു കൃഷി ചെയ്യുമ്പോൾ ശരിക്കും അതിനകത്തുള്ള ക്വാണ്ടിറ്റേറ്റീവ് വാല്യൂവിന് ഇമ്പോർട്ടൻസ് കൊടുക്കുന്നതിലേക്ക് കൂടുതലായിട്ട് ക്വാളിറ്റേറ്റീവ് ആസ്പെക്ട്സിന് കുറച്ചുകൂടെ പ്രാധാന്യം കൊടുത്തുകൊണ്ട് നമ്മൾ ഫുഡ്സ്കേപ്പിങ്ങിനും ലാൻഡ്സ്കേപ്പിങ്ങിനും കുറച്ചുകൂടെ പ്രാധാന്യം കൊടുത്തുകൊണ്ട് ഒരു സിസ്റ്റമായിരുന്നു ഞങ്ങൾ അവിടെ ചെയ്തത്. അപ്പോൾ അതിൻ്റെ കുറേ ഫോട്ടോസാണ് കാണുന്നത്. അപ്പോൾ ഇവിടെ ശരിക്കും വി ആർ cultivating these crops only in the soilless medium using this waste newspaper, cow dung and compost only, and adopting this fertigation methods using this fertilizer. Actually we have already used these fertilizers as wick irrigation method. These are some more photos there. അപ്പോൾ ഇത് ആദ്യം ഞങ്ങൾ ശരിക്കും പറഞ്ഞാൽ അഗ്രികൾച്ചർ ഓഫീസറായിട്ട് വന്നപ്പോൾ ഒരു ഫാർമറുടെ വീട്ടിൽ ആദ്യം ചെയ്തൊരു ആത്മാ ഡെമോൺസ്ട്രേഷൻ ആയിരുന്നു. അതിൻ്റെ അടിസ്ഥാനത്തിലാണ് മുഴുവൻ കാര്യങ്ങൾ ചെയ്തത്. അപ്പോൾ ആ ഒരു സിസ്റ്റം വീണ്ടും ഞങ്ങൾ 3-4 വർഷമായിട്ട് ഇപ്പോഴും ചാത്തന്നൂർ ബ്ലോക്കിൽ കണ്ടിന്യൂ ചെയ്യുന്നുണ്ട്. അപ്പോൾ ഇതൊരു മീഡിയത്തിൻ്റെ ഒരു ഈവൻ വി ക്യാൻ ദിസ് അഗത്തി ക്യാൻ ബി പ്ലാന്റഡ് ഇൻ സോയിൽലെസ് മീഡിയം. ദിസ് ഈസ് എ ഹെർബേഷ്യസ് shrub. This can also be planted in this soilless medium. These are separate photos. Then what are the advantages? The first one is light in weight. It is around 5 to 6 kg per 5 to 6 weight only 5 to 6 kg as compared to the soil filled bags. It is around 10 to 15 kilograms. And the soil borne disease can be minimized. Then it is the better way of recycling waste newspaper potting mixture. Then better growth and yield. Then zero weed growth. Then difficulty in getting soil can be avoided. Then durability of grow bag can be increased. Then more water use efficiency. If you are using this soilless medium, the water use efficiency will be very high. Then it is a best suited method for wick irrigation as compared to the soil medium. Then the tedious task of lifting topsoil to the terrace can be avoided. Then minimum pest and disease. You can see from these photos there will not be any pest and disease attack there, especially in the case of this soilless cucurbit diseases in solanacea vegetables. Then superior quality of produce with the high nutritional value. And all these are the advantages as compared to the soilless medium, soil medium.
So actually,
One
you
more-
all.
One more model. This is the study conducted at IFSRS Karamana regarding the residue analysis of the waste newspaper. Next one, soil. Next one, next PP. One more model is there, that is foodscaping. Then actually foodscaping is a practice of integrating edible plants to ornamental landscaping. And the foodscaping may involve adding edible plants to an existing ornamental garden or entirely replacing the traditional non-edible plants with food plants. The design can incorporate various kinds of vegetables, fruit plants, then bushy bunches, berry bunches, edible flowers, herbs, along with the purely ornamental plants. And it is the concept of foodscaping. And why we are doing foodscaping? First one is for food security, then rising human population. The other one is international goals to achieve malnutrition. The other one is reduction of food cost, use of minimum energy, pesticide residue for avoiding pesticide residue, then minimum wastage of fruits and vegetables. And these are the importance of foodscaping nowadays. And for the foodscaping, the first thing is we have to design a well-suited landscape design should be there for edible plants and ornamental plants. And it is one of the design, actually it is in front of my home. And these are some designs. The other thing is the foodscape design should have an aesthetic sense or an aesthetic value. We can see some designs here. It is in front of Sameti. And besides that, in the case of landscaping, we cannot water the plants in every day, and fertilization, pest control, pruning, etc. are not important there. But in the case of foodscaping, ordered watering, then fertigation, fertilization, pest control and pruning are very important here. So you can see the difference. And this is one of the design, one of the landscaping, foodscaping design at Sameti. The other thing is we have to select the best suited varieties, best suited plants for this foodscaping. Then the plants suited for foodscaping are, first one is amaranthus. We can see different types of amaranthus with the various colors. Then alternate can be used. Then bindi, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, chili, etc. can be used for foodscaping. Then potted plants like Chinese orange, citrus, sapota, guava, mangoes and jack varieties can be introduced in foodscaping design. These are certain foodscaping designs. You can also include this tuber crops like carrot, beetroot, ginger and turmeric in this foodscaping design. These are certain designs. Okay, thank you.
Very nice presentation and very new information actually on soilless farming as well as foodscaping. Foodscaping is a new concept actually. Being a soil scientist, I cannot completely ignore soil. So even though it is a very good concept, soil is also very important. But for urban agriculture, we can tell this is a very good initiative and effort that we can educate farmers for urban and peri-urban people. And foodscaping is also a very good concept as regards to the advantages and all. And you all might have learned the very good effort he is taking with respect to this type of foodscaping and soilless farming for agriculture department and also for the public. So I am handing over to Dr. Mitra for his remarks.
Congratulations, Dr. Shibu, Mr. Shibu, for the nice presentation. I am proud to say that Mr. Shibu Kumar is my classmate during BSc AG years back in College of Agriculture, Velayani. He is very much in media. Many of you may be knowing. He is there in media and his contributions are very much in media. It is very rare to see such presentations during such international symposium. I congratulate the organizers for inviting such a luminary to this forum. Shibu, what something just like Madam was telling, the technology is very good. You told that soilless culture gives better yield compared to that in soiled culture. And among the different points you noted, it seems that it is due to pest and disease problem in the soil cultivation, or whether you observed when you compared, there are two comparisons you told adjacent.
Pest and disease attack will be minimum as compared to the soil farm.
No, when soil culture, whether you observed.
We have not compared these two things.
You have shown that the adjacent.
It's just a demonstration, not a scientific study.
Okay. But I think
just our physical observation is only our physical observation. That is why I can surely say that the pest and disease attack is minimum as compared to the farm, as compared to the crops that raised in soil.
All nutrients were provided as a nutrient solution.
Yes, nutrient solution. Also, we can provide nutrients by as granules.
In soil culture, whether you have provided nutrients through soil,
yes,
there also
soil,
you applied wick,
we can provide nutrients in soil, or we can in this irrigation system also we can introduce the soil water soluble fertilizers through this pipeline.
In soil culture also you used wick, no?
Yes. But I think it is better. The soilless medium is the best suited medium for the irrigation system.
So like since it was discussed in the morning, because around 70% or more and more population comes and dwells in urban areas, this technology will acquire prominence when.
And in soil cultivation, there is a chance of shrinking of these wicks, and the capitalization will be very less as compared to the soilless medium.
Sorry?
When we are using wicks in soil medium, there is a chance of shrinkage of these wicks. Then the capitalization of this water will be very less as compared to the soilless medium. Here this medium is very porous as compared to this soil medium. So the capitalization will be very high as compared to this soil medium.
I think this will be a good next generation technology when more and more people dwells in urban areas.
Besides that, we have introduced this cocoa pit wicks. Earlier we have used this glass wool wicks. I think it is not eco-friendly, and also it is causes some irritation, certain itching there. So it is not eco-friendly, but this type of wicks are eco-friendly.
Its adaptability to other crops should be tested. That is what my opinion. Because what I foresee is that in the near future, maybe at least 20-30 years after that thing, urban cultivation will be having more importance than rural cultivation. At that time, I think since it is advantageous, even though it is soilless, I think this cultivation will become more important. And shall we give the audience?
So with regard to disease and pest, you said the incidence was lesser?
Yes.
And what is the opinion about weeds? Because in weeds you have written there are completely no weeds.
Okay. And after planting this non-railing varieties, we will mulch the grow bags or the containers with the waste newspaper. then there will not be any weed attack or presence of weed will not be there.
Absolutely no
Absolutely
weeds?
weed-free. Absolutely weed-free. You can see that in that photos.
So have you tried with sweet potatoes?
No,
Not
no,
the
no.
wick
Only
irrigation,
vegetables.
the other
Only
one.
vegetables. You can try that. I think it is just for your validation also. Police നോക്കാം.
Any clarification or questions from the audience? Nobody? It's a very good topic and you are not having any queries. Okay, then I think thank you, Shivakumar, for the very informative talk. I think we are going to break here or not?
Now, I invite Dr. Roy Stephen, the Dean of Faculty, College of Agriculture, Vellaini, to present the mementos to the dignitaries of previous session. First, I welcome the lead speaker, Dr. Santosh Mitra VS, Principal Scientist, ICAR CTCRI, to receive the token of gratitude. Now I welcome Dr. Anil Kea, Professor and Head, Agriculture Engineering. I welcome Dr. Reggie Jacob Thomas, Principal Scientist and Head, ICAR CPCRI Kayamkulam, to receive the memento. Next, I welcome Dr. Rehana Essen, Scientist, ICAR CTCRI Srikaryam, to receive the memento. Now I welcome Dr. Anil Kea, Professor and Head. Now I welcome Shivakumar VN, Deputy Director of Agriculture, Sameti, to receive the memento. Next, I welcome Dr. Susan John K, Principal Scientist, ICAR CTCRI Srikaryam, to receive the token of gratitude. Now I welcome Dr. Vishalakshi Chandra C, Scientist, ICAR CTCRI Srikaryam, to receive the memento. Next, I welcome Dr. Prakash P, Scientist, ICAR CTCRI Srikaryam, to receive the memento. Thank you, sir. Now we'll have a lunch break. This session will resume after the break with the oral presentation. There's another important announcement. The oral presentation of Technical Session 4 on socio-economic impacts of urban agriculture will be held at Smart Classroom in the ground floor. And this session will resume at 2:30, and the Technical Session 4 will be held at Smart Classroom in ground floor at 2:30.